Runners, to your mark. Set.
Some may see a sprinter. At the NFHS, we see a future leader already off to the races. Some may see a volleyball player.
Good hit! Way to go, girls! Woo!
At the NFHS, we see a spike in confidence that will help her achieve her potential. What else do we see? Musicians learning to march to their own beat. We're the NFHS, the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and activities in America, helping today's teenagers develop the skills they need to become tomorrow's leaders. And we see it happening in communities across Wisconsin every single day. Learn more about the NFHS commitment to youth at nfhs.org. This message presented by the NFHS, the National Federation of State High School Associations.
I'm Doug Russell. We start in Chicago, where the signs are all positive for the Brewers retaking the top spot in the Central.
And a drive to right. This ball is hammered way back and gone. A 3-run shot for Bowers, and the Brewers have put up a snowman at Wrigley.
Brewers TV with the call. Christian Yelich also went deep for the second time in 2 games as he looks to get back to form. The Brewers beating the Cubs in game 1 of their 3-gamer at Wrigley 9-3. Game 2 is tonight. The Cubs' lead in the division is down to just a half game. NBA playoffs last night, an absolute barn burner in Oklahoma City. The Spurs come away with a double overtime win, 122-115. Wemby with 41 points and 24 rebounds. And in overtime, it was the Canadians moving on to beat the Sabres 3-2 in Game 7 in overtime. Montreal moves on to play Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Diller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. From right, hey, 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit down now and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Let's get ready to cut and crack this morning, shall we? Welcome into the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. The iHeartRadio app streaming live for your early risers, insomniacs, and just sociopaths on Facebook, X, and YouTube. My name is Drew Wilson. I am joined by my pals Bill Schmid and Armen Sarian behind the glass over there on a buy or sell Tuesday. Are you buying that last night? A sleeper night in the mid to late May gave us some incredible sports moments. Beginning, of course, with the Brewers stomping the Cubs at Wrigley Field.
Just beating the brakes off of the Cubs makes it the best way and the best table to go and sit down and feast at. And especially when Yelly's going deep for a second time in the 2 games back, it sets a heck of a tone when that dude's in the middle of the lineup. Drew, as I stayed up far too late last night watching Victor Wembanyama just capture the NBA, just completely take away the soul of the reigning defending NBA champ, maybe similar to one of his idols, Hakeem Olajuwon, seeing David Robinson after he won the 95 MVP and said, excuse me, that's mine. Excuse me.
Amazing reference.
That's mine. 41, I believe he dropped in that game. And last night, Wemby was sensational in a double overtime game that Drew just made me laying in bed trying to figure out how I was going to be able to function right around 3 o'clock today on the lack of sleep. Kind of sad for those people that don't like sports. There's days where I sit back and I'm like, man, if only I would have stayed down the theater path. If only I would have been really into reading. Because, listen, some people say summer is for reading. I say summer used to be for Sports Center. And that last night was a night where I cry for those folks that don't like sports, because there's nothing better than what we saw last night.
It was a great night. Billy, what a great reference by you. I'm so impressed by you pulling back the 95 MVP race. It was David Robinson who won it, but I keep in the playoffs. Great work there.
I think they met in game 1 of the Western Finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Just made me feel so seen. Yeah. And, the thing about that is you're right. And the MVP award has had a little controversy, right? Because Shams League did, and a lot of people wanted Wemby to win the award. There was a lot of prominent media figures that were pushing it. So he didn't, obviously. SGA got it. But what a monster game for him last night. And you're right. A great night of sports, of course, capped off by our favorite result, the Brewers dump trucking the Cubs in Wrigley and breaking their winning streak.
Well, they hadn't lost at home
streak,
since mid-April.
I was going to say, it's been a full month. They said April tax day, I think it was, since they had lost the last time at Wrigley, and that was a resounding decision yesterday.
Now, I don't know about you guys, because the way the wind was blowing, and they always talk about the wind at Wrigley. We love when people love talking about that, but it was clearly blown out early, so I didn't feel very comfortable until Bowers hit that blast, but even after, it was still 8-3, but so great job by the Brewers, kind of, obviously getting the runs, but also maintaining their poise in that one surge the Cubs had to get through it and to go get the win. So what a great way to open the series on a
pretty good pretty good effort to wrap it up with 2 rookie pitchers shoving and giving up 3 runs against a legit offense. The Cubs have what you call one of those long offenses.
Yes,
they just come at you, and Craig Counsell's instilling, he's instilling a little of that Brewers magic waters, the healing springs of Milwaukee, where they can get guys, and all of a sudden, guys who have been good players, but now they're given like really good at bats.
I think people have cast off Conforto quite a bit in his career.
Yeah, and they're giving you good at bats and playing good defense. Now, imagine if the Brewers were without Woodruff and Miz, and that's kind of where the Cubs are right now. They're gonna retool. They're gonna add a pitcher. They're a pitcher, 2 pitchers short, probably, if not 3, because they got a top reliever out too. So they're working through some things. This is going to be a good matchup. The Brewers aren't going away. This is going to be a battle all summer into September and October, I think. And it's just fun to watch. But the Brewers got off to a great start last night. To be up by to have a snowman up on the board and to be up like that, comfortably, it's all relative because Wrigley with the wind blowing out. But to be up like that and to make their fans chant Green Bay sucks.
Yes.
In the middle innings,
you're down
knowing that they're getting stomped.
That's the best.
Was just chef's kiss. Like, doesn't get any better than that.
That felt like a night.
They had to go to that card.
That you had to go all the way there.
And I'm not gonna sit here and proclaim that the Bears still suck chant has not rung out over the years at Miller Park, then American Family
favorite
Field.
places. Yeah.
It does, but not with the prevalence and not with kind of the hair trigger that they have down in Chicago.
No question. I agree.
Of Green Bay sucks. Like, they were chanting Green Bay sucks at the White Sox Cubs series over the weekend, because it's the one thing they can agree on as a civilization.
I think they're getting to a point where it's kind of like a fun thing for them, like a battle crowd, which is fine. Sports should be fun, and that's part of it. But you're right. There's no question there.
It's also a bit sad
to it. I think it's pathetic.
Well,
it was cute when the Lions fans did it with Jared Goff, because it was the only thing that was somewhat chantable that they had, and then they realized, well, we're chanting for like the 9th best quarterback in football. That's a tough thing to do.
And when you do it, when you're getting beat down at home, I mean, it was like one of those half-hearted. I'll be honest with you. I think they thought it was going to hit different, but it would have hit different. They were up 8-0, but it doesn't really have the same effect as like a rallying cry or like something, you get excited about when you're getting walloped at home like they were. So yeah, I don't know. I always hear that. Well, you guys do it too. And yes, of course the song was made, The Bears Still Suck. But I guess for me, I just don't remember hearing it as much as that we have now with Chicago fans. But Hey, it's a funny thing now, and boy, isn't that chef's kiss like you said? Up 8-0, they're doing it now. I'm like, oh, that's great. What's the scoreboard say? We're up a touchdown with a 2-pointer, so it felt pretty good last night to get that dub. And now I'm in the bump today. So that's great.
Quote from Craig Counsell: "The Brewers are the team that's won the division the last 3 years. That's what we want to do. Last year they beat us, and they had a fabulous season. We've got to improve to get there."
Well, and that's the tough part is, Drew, there's a recalibration that you have to do of the Brewers have been the big dog in this rivalry since 2018, and really since game 163 it kind of flipped, right? Yep. I mean, I think that day was a massive turning point for not only the organization's mental makeup and belief of being able to beat that team, but also a little bit of the fan base. Listen, I like it when you have a rivalry that invokes that kind of passion where you actually you fear playing the team because of not, Nico Horner leading off and Michael Busch potentially leading off in certain games. And dang, all of a sudden they added Bregman there at third base. No, it's because you can't fathom how you're going to feel if they would end your season. I like when that kind of paranoia enters sports. And I think truly on both sides, it's been there, although should be more probably on that side, because for the better part of the last decade, the Brewers have kind of owned it, and to the point where they had to come in here and try to take the manager to try to see if they could steal some of the magic.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it is kind of crazy how, that one series did kind of turn the tide on things. And it's been a nice, back and forth. It's been exciting for all of us for the last 8 years. And it's going to continue to be as we get through the summer. We're just shaping up for another battle. But you're right, Billy Counsell going there just adds the intrigue. It's all the things that make for a great sports rivalry. And it is one of those things when you take a step back and you say, boy, it has been fun, especially when we get the better of them in those playoff series.
Makes it
so much better. So it's one of those, probably some enterprising, young kid in 25 years is going to make a documentary about the decade of rivals or something like that.
He's going to type it into AI, Drew, and AI will
that's true. It'll be
right?
that'll
probably be it. It'll be might be voiced by like Jennifer Gardner at that point. It would be a phenomenal one.
You got to love the hashtag baseball aspect of last night. Brewers couldn't buy a hit with runners in scoring position in the Twin Cities. And then, lo and behold, Bowers and Yelich, 6 RBI between them. And again, I go back to you sending rookies out there, 2 rookies to throttle a really good offense and give you another day of freshness in the back end of that bullpen. So the top leverage guys are rested and ready behind Miz, who may or may not need a top leverage guy tonight. So Brewers are setting up pretty good in this series to win it. And best way to get after it is to win the first one, and they put a resounding stamp there.
100%, dude. I honestly, Drew, when you mentioned that, I was thinking like the Drowan performance might be the biggest one of all of them. You come in with a massive lead. What should you do?
Throw strikes, let them hit it, and with the wind blowing out,
man.
Yeah.
Like no walks in the 4 1/3 innings to clean that up and to save the bullpen for these next 2 days in a time where it's not like you're going 19 games in 18 days, but these are grinders and you're playing some big teams here.
And I liked generally what I saw from Sproat, especially when he didn't get that last out in the 5th and he was a little bit chapped. I'm like, that's pretty sweet. I kind of dig it.
He's a real bulldog.
We need the ball, son. And he was like, it's like, man, I kind of like to see that. I want him to be pissed at himself, but
100%.
Be pissed that he couldn't get through 5.
And in the first 4 innings, what we saw from him was really good. Obviously, he had the hiccup in the 5th, but I think he's still getting better and starting to believe in him more. And I love the attitude that he had going off. Now, listen, you're right. I mean, it's your own. You make your own bed. He could have gotten through that. And I think he's half mad at himself and 75% 75% mad at himself and 25% kind of was chapped at Murphy. Like, let me get through this. But great job by Drohan coming in, taking care of business, putting it down. And you just saw Sproat down there in the dugout kind of walk because he knew he wasn't going to get the win probably. He knew he thought he lost his chance at it. And that was kind of a bummer.
You can't. I mean, when you don't go 5.
No, exactly.
That's got to be a game, though, when Matt Arnold just sits back and drew maybe 3 fingers there at the end of the game to celebrate. Like that's a night where you got to be smiling.
He's got to go back to a watering hole on the way back. He's probably at the lodge with the rest of the baseball people.
Yeah.
Or, you're right. I'm sure he's got a nice suite over there at the Westin on Michigan Avenue.
That's got to just be such a good moment to think of the moves that you make in the offseason, the questions you had, and then they just go out and do that.
Having 2 rookie pitchers combined to give you 9 innings, right? And, again, Rake Bowers, where was the clamor to get that guy? And look what the Brewers have with
Talk about Jake Bauers. Man, he's been incredible, huh?
He's been great. Yelich is waking up. Bauers is raking as always, and they're knocking balls off the scoreboard. Now, it's probably going to get cooler the next 2 days, and the ballpark will change, and we can put away what happened last night because at Wrigley, I mean, you can see games change from inning to inning, much less day to day. So what we saw last night. Now, if you got Miz pitching and it's 10, 15 degrees colder, less humid, and the wind's blowing in a tick, that's not the worst situation either. I'd take my chances with Miz when in those conditions.
If you got to have small market rallies and you got to pinball the baseball around the yard to win, I like the Brewers in any game that is going to be played that way, especially when 32 is going to be on the bump.
The thing is, and Hunter talked about this yesterday, but the way they're developing the Brewers to unleash these, the number 2 guy out of the chute, and if whether it's Chad Patrick, Drone, or Ashby, and unleash these multi-inning beasts with really good stuff, who are arguably a tick below or on par with your starter. That's a pretty good weapon to deploy, having those guys be able to do that, and to have them finish games with just 2 pitchers. How often do you see that? Almost never nowadays.
I was going to say, and now you've seen it twice in a week, Drew. Like that. Yeah. That's the weird one when you see Zerpa go down. We're still waiting to see Koenig. Maybe Rob Z is back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, doesn't have to clear and come back.
Right. So you got 3 1 inning for the most part guys. And Koenig gave multiple innings a couple of times, but he pitched every single day.
Yeah, he did.
Those are leverage guys that were going to be high usage, high leverage dudes. And it almost, you start to wonder if they're like, well, we're not going to be able to replicate that. We're not going to find 3 guys that we trust to put into those spots. But if we cut down on with some of the youth that we have out here, and Sproat and Drowan, Chad Patrick's another one, and you see it throughout. At some point, Coleman Crow, is it better to make sure your stuff is perfect and built to start and you can keep yourself stretched out in case you need to start? Or learn how to get big league hitters out? Because you would know it better than I, Drew. There's just such a difference between how your stuff plays at AAA and how it plays in the big leagues. They were talking about that with Gasser on Sunday, where Sproat, has it been perfect throughout? Absolutely not. But as you've seen him now for 6-7 weeks, he's really learning how his stuff is going to get big league hitters out. And however you stack them, you got to get. Mentioned Craig Counsell. He always said you got to get 27 outs, and it doesn't matter who and how many you end up getting. Let's just count to 27, and they got enough guys that can slice it down. We might see this more because Ashby was the first guy they started firing this thing in with. Maybe this is how they're training arms to be able to throw 84 games a year like Ashby.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's the next inefficiency in the market the Brewers have taken advantage of as an organization, finding guys that go multiple innings that teams aren't
there's
really
a little
ready
Dave
for.
Ramsey in this is what you're saying.
I kind of like it. I really do.
Wow.
And the other thing about it is, if you can get multiple guys to do it, will it become a trend? Hey, maybe we're going back to the 70s, Drew. Isn't that what guys used to do? Ace relievers. We talk about Raleigh Fingers in 81, going like 3 innings.
He would go 2 1/3, 2 2/3, 3 innings sometimes.
But you're right, Billy. And it was kind of the councils that started it. It was like outs are outs. And it really doesn't matter how you get them, where you get them, who gets them. We just got to get through them and get these
But it's a lot more fun when you're able to do that style, guys, when you don't have Luis Chassin. Yolis Chassin is your number 1 starter.
Yeah.
Right. Like that was almost more out of necessity. Now it's out of a little embarrassment of riches. And how are we going to get all these guys innings?
Mm-hmm. And it's also easier to have all these plans when all your guys shove and execute, which the Brewers pitchers have done. Like whoever goes in there for the Brewers is getting out. So every strategy works basically.
I'll take 3 runs allowed and 10 punch outs just about any night and take my chances. Because we always say you got to score 4 to win, to expect to win a major league game. You kind of got to score 4 runs. The rest of it, if you're winning with less than 4, it's because you're pitching well, playing good defense, and it's kind of gravy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that to the window and feel confident every time. But this Ben Brown cat is a tough customer. I watched him no hit the Brewers for like 6 innings or something like that at AmFam a couple of years ago. So
he's tough. He's absolutely
tough. I didn't realize until I read it this morning. I think it was Adam McCalvey who said that this is the latest the Brewers and Cubs have played their first game against each other in the championship season since 2004.
Wow.
So Brewers Cubs usually have wet their beaks a little bit early, and it's coming off of October when you had like the most memorable, matchup between these two teams was the NLDS last year, and the Brewers prevailed in that.
as my YouTube algorithm just, loads me up with those 3 games, the highlights of them and the game recaps of game 1, 2, and 5. I don't know that I get a whole lot of Drew sports FOMO. Every time I hear and see the sights and sounds of game 5 at the NLDS, I get a little bit of sports FOMO thinking of all the 40-some thousand folks in there. Let's just do it again. Let's meet them in the playoffs again and have some more fun with it.
That would be fantastic.
Yep. Is everybody would everybody be a little bit less nervous about it this year after last year, or would it be even worse?
The thing is, okay, the Bears and Packers played in the playoffs, and that didn't go well. But I still say, bring the smoke. It's worth it, man. Even if we got to wear that one,
good.
It was kind of payback. And again, oh man, we're going to talk about it as we move forward today. It's Buy or Sell Tuesday. We're going to have Hunter's Recap coming up for you. Hunter's Recap, this game was so sweet, we might have to play it a couple of times.
I was going to say
that's popular demand.
That's like the chalice of tears after this.
Hunter Baumgart, by popular demand, might have to make a couple of appearances on today's show. But we'll talk a little bit about the Packers too. And because Billy and I are doing a little Packers event,
little soiree,
and we might have to prime the pump and talk a little bit about what we're going to tell people at this luncheon, because not everybody can go and see this luncheon that we're going to be at with Wayne Larrabee and Wes Hodkowitz. But we'll have to touch on some of the things there, including, I say bring the smoke. Packers, Bears. If the Packers, you told me today that the Packers and Bears are going to meet in a playoff game again, whether at Lambeau or Soldier Field, sign me up.
I'll take
it.
I'll take 3 games a year between those two teams every year for the next decade. Will there be some painful years in the ones that you got to wear? Oh, yeah. Sure. But it will be phenomenal theater.
Absolutely phenomenal. All right. We're off and running. Shooting shirts are off. We had Montreal prevail. Billy was happy about that.
That was fun.
What a game.
Had a lot. Overtime in game 7 in hockey doesn't get much better than that. Overtime in game 1, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, double overtime. Pretty sweet as well. Our buffet is bountiful today, so let's feast. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
He slips into his white Nikes. He's and then he's on the way. To free his mind and searcher. To free his mind and searcher. To free his mind and searcher. Day and night. The lonely lonely.
5 of the NLGS, and not interested in looking ahead either.
So sorry to interrupt. Here's Yelly going deep to make it 1-0 Brewers. Asserts himself into this series. His second home run in as many days.
Brewers TV bringing us back. A highlight. Yeah, the first highlight from the Brewers 9-3 victory last night at Wrigley Field.
And I like the highlight after of the raucous Brewers fans that were able to take it in. Hey, man, they come up here and enjoy the friendly confines of American Family Field. Go and invade that ballpark, especially after they took most of the troughs out. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Point. Yeah,
not as bad.
Upgraded a little bit there.
For your big guy to hit that home run, get things started, hit the scoreboard.
Huge.
Second homer in a day. Everybody's kind of, okay, well, we're good now. That settled everybody, I thought.
Nothing like your star giving the first punch on the road like that.
No doubt.
Big time.
Yeah.
And I don't know for sure that he's, numbers would back it up as much of a Cubs killer as like a Ryan Braun was in those matchups for the longest time. Yelly's had his fair share of big time games against the Cubs, even though the OPS might not be over 800 or so. When you've smacked over 20 bombs against that team, yeah, people remember that one.
Yeah. We had a very rare technological glitch last night, and I'm not referring to, for some reason, X was bogged down last night for a chunk of time.
I saw a little bit of that.
It was a little bit of an issue.
But I got
on
back
the
on
X.
to fire off takes.
Of course you did, because Armen likes the smoke from Chicago fans. But the ABS system had a little hiccup where the Contreras challenged a pitch and he was right, and then it glitched on the scoreboard. Like you could see it at home, but on the scoreboard, it was like stuck. And then, okay, well, it's a ball. And the call stands. When in doubt, the call stands, but the Brewers kept their challenge, even though his challenge was right, but it was wrong, but it was right. Like, what the hell?
I couldn't figure it out. I thought the best part of the whole thing was the home plate umpire and how annoyed it made him.
Yes.
Right? Like when he stops the game and says, hey, excuse me, whoever's on the scoreboard, figure it out. All right. There's 2 challenges on both sides. All right. I'm sick and tired of looking at this and both teams having 2. I guess we can't fix it. Milwaukee does have 2. It was that was a strange one. I guess at some point you knew technology was going to have a moment. I wonder if they just had to, unplug it and plug it back in, or if there's an ABS tech support that you call and they tell you to do that.
Yeah. The whole thing was bizarre. I mean, in the first, Hunter tweeted last night, Contreras challenged a pitch, called a ball on TV feed, but showed the call should be overturned to a strike. Home plate umpire turned his microphone on, said it was still a ball, and Brewers lost the challenge. Simply put, that can't happen. So everyone was kind of confused in the moment what was going on. It was barely in the zone, but it wasn't. So it was one of those things maybe I thought was the issue, but it was confusing for everybody. This was the sound on the marquee broadcast of the confused Cubs broadcasters.
Number 3, tailor-made. Clean it up.
Call on the field as a ball to catch the challenger.
William Contreras is aggressive. It's ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's a strike. I mean, just barely, but it was.
I feel like you got lucky with that challenge.
Okay.
It's not really a great time to challenge.
No.
Okay, got it.
Oh, man, yeah. Contreras to contrarian.
Call stands, the pitch is the ball. Milwaukee will retain their challenge.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
one of those I'd say for game balls. But it was just a confusing situation last night.
The best thing is the collective. Wait, what?
What?
Did he misspeak there?
It's been a pretty flawless system so far in terms of the process, in terms of the way it's strategized, maneuvered, handled. The ABS system's been pretty good so far. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. So it was a rare hiccup last night, but we can laugh about it now because it didn't affect the game.
Oh, true.
Way.
Can you imagine if the Brewers would have lost by 1 and you could have pointed to that specific pitch as a game shifter? Oh, it would not have been giggles this morning. In all reality, though, you knew that was going to happen at some point. Maybe I am surprised that it didn't happen earlier in the process for it. It's been so good. I guess the craziest thing hearing that is I've wondered if different broadcasters or teams were going to pick up traits and triggers of different guys, right? I mean, they scout everything nowadays. Wouldn't you think that they would know and have a little bit of a scouting report like that of Contreras? He's going to be a little aggressive on these challenges. That's a fascinating one. I didn't know, and I wonder if teams are actually tracking that, because the way that Jason Stark had a really good article at The Athletic earlier this weekend about how much walks are up and how different the strike zone seems to be in and around all of baseball this year, because hitters are being so much more patient, knowing that ABS either, some would say is going to bail them out, but in some circles it just has shrunken the strike zone because you can't freestyle it as much.
Yeah. I think it's regulated in that sense. I mean, there used to be where, okay, the ump's got a big strike zone. He's calling it outside. He's calling it low. So now you feel the pressure to swing, obviously, protect it and all that stuff. But now batter knows he has that sort of check and balance on the ump, and the ump isn't going to be able to do that. So then, therefore, right, the result is the ump shrinks the strike zone. That is a pretty interesting thing, and it'll be interesting to see how it affects games, affects things.
Because you would assume that there would be some adjustment from teams, right, and some adjustment from pitchers, understanding that guys are sitting waiting on the corners. Now it makes it sound easier said than done. Just throw more strikes. But right, like it just sounds a lot easier to throw more strikes. But you wonder if, Drew, there will be more of an attacking mindset, knowing like, hey man, nibbling on the corners, you're just not going to get that kind of luck as much anymore because teams and players are being so much more patient.
Right. 877-794-1973. If you'd like to weigh in, we're going to be doing some buying and selling later in the program. Plenty to chew on with these Brewers, Cubs, Spurs, Oklahoma City, Montreal, and Buffalo. That's about as good a game 7 as you can get, going to OT.
Oof. Yeah, I mean,
team winning too.
Get both road teams winning, both games going to OT. The basketball game going to double overtime. That's as good of Monday sports as it can get. The Habs fans loading up the arena for the road game, Drew. That's a great scene. However, I did kind of think that there was going to be some fake hustle. There was none. I was anticipating when somebody turned zoomed and panned the entire camera around the full audience, that one side was maybe going to be tarped off. They loaded that son of a gun up last night to watch that game on the Jumbotron. That was an electrifying scene.
Yeah, and there was a good amount in Buffalo as well. The cheers were there, obviously. I was kind of surprised to see that because, this is Buffalo, right? The city of heartbreak, and they're trying to, fight back and finally get a title, and it's game 7 and stuff like that, and they just couldn't get it done. But it was a great game. It was like a 3-part epic battle, right? I mean, Montreal started off so well, up 2-0 early. The Sabres really clawed back, had so many chances. They tied it. They really kept the pressure on most of the third period, and it was Montreal in overtime with the winning goal. Just a more heartbreak for Buffalo fans. They're 1-7 now in NHL game 7s, and we already know what they do in football. So it's another tough one for Shanna.
When a game like that rolls around and you don't have a financial investment in the outcome, Billy, I'm looking at you. If you're just watching it as a neutral fan, like, how is my life impacted if Montreal wins or Buffalo wins? Well, Shanna's from Buffalo. That'd be nice for her, but Montreal's a storied franchise. I tend to, for some reason, Canada. I tend to root for Canadian teams. I want them to go further. I wouldn't mind seeing them win a cup once. It'd be just to see what it was like again, to remember,
it's been
spark those memories of what it was
Lord
like.
knows they didn't win anything in hockey this year, so they might have to win the Stanley Cup.
They didn't do anything in Italy. But when it comes to that, when you for a neutral game, when you go in and like, I'm just going to watch this game and be entertained, like, okay. And then sometimes as you're watching it, you may develop a rooting interest.
For sure.
I like the way this team's playing. There's something about the vibe or the fans, or I want this, or, oh, they got screwed on that call. Now I'm rooting for the other team.
Pulling there, 100%.
That's a fun way to ride the wave. And I always tell people that's how I watch basically every game. Kind of like as the
story develops, what gets
detached, observer. So that's kind of like, I let people like, that's my life. But then on the flip side of that, you have Oklahoma City and San Antonio, which to me is like the finals. This is like the best series.
NBA finals.
This is the best series that we're going to get of what's left.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And so and Oklahoma City, there was such a breath of fresh air. It's a small market. We can relate being here and seeing them win. And given their history, the way they started out with, Harden and Durant, it didn't work out with Westbrook with the big 3. And then now they've won it. SGA is an amazing player, amazing story, 2-time MVP. But I'm watching that, and then it's like Wemby saying, "I'm the captain now."
Yeah,
and so that story. So I have no reason to root against Oklahoma City. Like, there's no, you can't be tired of them after 1 year, right?
Yeah, I don't think they have the
dynasty.
full enemy,
and we didn't get a lot of that stuff down our throats. They're on national TV, but it's not. They don't get covered like LeBron.
So you're very right.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no saturation with OKC. It's an incredible organization. They're poised to be good for a long time. Great front office, great coach, great players. Pretty good vibe with their fans, it seems. And yet it's like, well, San Antonio's new, so I'm kind of like, I'm on Team San Antonio, Team Wemby. Let him like put his stamp on it. Let him establish that he's the dude now that LeBron and Steph and those guys are starting to shuffle away. Let's enjoy Wemby and his stylings for a while. So for some reason, I'm drawn to the Spurs. I every time I see Pop, you get a lump in your throat.
I was going to say, you feel something when you see that.
So it is a weird dynamic to watch that. And so I have no reason to root against OKC, but I find myself kind of leaning Team San Antonio.
Well, and I also think, Drew, like the greatness in the moment is hard to not notice and enjoy, right? Like when you see Wemby and somebody in that full ascent, again, I take it to LeBron because it was very similar when he scores the 25 points, consecutive points against Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals in that route when he takes Boobie Gibson and company to the finals. You're like, this is the next great guy having that first great moment. And that's clearly what you've seen Wemby do. My man's gone through every single tidal wave you can have in the NBA playoffs in an NBA career in one playoffs. Like, he's already had his ejection. He almost was about to get one last night when he just decided he's like, I'm going to Cam Scattaboo run through Alex Caruso for no apparent reason. Like, is standing at the 3-point line. Caruso's been in his kitchen all night long. And he's like, I'm sick of this. And just barrel rolls him. Like, it just, to see that, the mental makeup, it's like watching my toddler see his brother. Like, I need to knock him over. I need to knock him over. I'm watching the wheels turn in his head as he's running up the court, and he does it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he hits a 30-footer that looks like me shooting the ball from my kitchen to the living room on a Little Tykes.
On a Little Tykes. That was it. Yep. And the Little
It's
Tykes
disgusting
that was the crazy
how
part.
talented and alien-ish he looks out there. And when you hear somebody get it stuffed down your throat, he's the next one. It's going to be his league now. It's going to be his league now. I'm like, all right, Wendy, we get it. All right, you're in on. We get it, DP. You're in on Wemby. And then you watch last night, and you're like, yeah, I guess I got to be in on Wemby too. He might just be taking this whole thing over.
He's exciting. I mean, I think that's part of the reason people feel that way. The way you described, Drew, is like, it's not to take anything away from OKC. They're a great team. They've proven it. SGA is a great player. But you can't really compare the excitement level of both players. Like, Wemby is a much more exciting figure to watch. And I'll kind of compare it to, like, if Miz was pitching against, like, Tim Wakefield, like a knuckleballer or a lefty's, change-up art. You know what I mean? Like, both could get outs. R.A. Dickey was the knuckleballer that won the Cy Young. It's not that one can't be quality as well in terms of performance, getting outs, and SGA's quality, of course, he's an efficient scorer, gets points. He's won another MVP, and that's the backdrop of last night, right? The MVP thing is like, but one is clearly more exciting to watch, where Miz is out there blowing people away with 103 and all that stuff. And Wemby is, like you said, Billy, that unbelievably, unique athletic specimen where he is long, he's super huge, but super athletic, can dunk, can shoot, do all these things. Where SGA is more of a boring, efficient, ordinary. I hate using that word but it's true. He's just not as exciting to watch, and therefore OKC isn't as compelling in that sense. It's not really fair because OKC is still a great team and SGA is still a great player. There's nothing wrong they're doing. It's just, and talk about undercovered. I think they've been undercovered.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the most boring undercovered champion we've ever seen. We've talked about this, Billy. That's
going into a two-peat opportunity.
That's probably going to have a great chance to two-peat. I mean, there's still even money on the series market, so there's still a good chance now.
Wow, so they flipped all the way down to even money. They were minus 275 going into the last night.
Yeah, both teams are 110, minus 110 right out the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And I think what's interesting about it is I think a lot of people see OKC as dominant as they've been as seeing their kryptonite, which can be, San Antonio, which is the one team that's been able to have their number. And last night won again. I mean, obviously, they could have gone either way.
They're now 5-1 over the year, including the regular season and playoffs. And it's the second 40-20 game for a Spurs player in the playoffs.
Whoa,
crazy!
Him and David Robinson. That's pretty solid territory to be in.
That is pretty good company.
And also, it's like you start setting appointments. You understand what you're going to get here. And you're right, Armen. Like I heard Broussard say it yesterday. SGA is all substance, no flash.
Which is the other thing. It's nothing wrong with that.
No,
right?
But like the other guys that are in the category of back-to-back MVPs, potentially back-to-back champs, like Magic Johnson was the most exciting player ever to watch. He was all flash and substance. Kobe Bryant was, I'm going to rip your soul out. Everybody knows what you watched. Even like with Isaiah Thomas, the ridiculous handles and the ability. SGA is like, yeah, I'm just going to walk in very strangely, quietly. I'm going to score 30.
Draw fouls,
go to the free throw line, and then go home. Yeah. Like it's there's not much that makes you feel anything. But damn, Wemby makes you feel a whole lot of things. That guy is crazy. And you want to talk about the sick sports fan that you are, Drew? I watch it, and last night I enjoy watching the home crowds walk out of there sad. Maybe that's mean of me. That's mean of me. Funny. But I enjoyed having watched those Buffalo fans say, "Son of a gun, we did it again." God. Son of a gun, it happened again. And I can't wait for WGR to fire up this morning because they will be hurt.
When I grew up, I was kind of the opposite. I cheer for the home team usually in those neutral environments just because I saw all the people and wanted them to be happy. And Billy's the opposite. I guess he wants
pain.
The Buffalonians are realizing the mantra of the huddle and that I've had for many years. 90% of being a sports fan is getting kicked in the Jimmy.
Yes. Well, it would have been wrong if Buffalo wins. That's not how the book goes.
True. That's true.
I think they're not coming to understand it.
And Montreal will find heartbreak somewhere down the line.
I was going to say
what's going to happen.
If it's a Canadian team, it's got to happen in this. It's got to happen in the finals. They got to take second place.
Well, and probably this round because the Hurricanes, if you haven't noticed, are a wagon. So we'll see how that
they're
goes.
also cheap. All right, let's go Habs. Come on, four more games.
Armen, but it's like they're a wagon. Well, Oklahoma City hadn't lost a game in the playoffs last night. They were a wagon.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
It's like you could be a wagon for a while. All right, we're off and running. We're having some fun. We're going to start buying or selling coming up after 6. Dolph joins us at 6:30. When we come back, we'll hear Hunter's recap of a glorious evening at Wrigley Field as the Brewers take the opener against the Cubs. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
And a drive to right. This ball is hammered way back and gone. A 3-run shot for Bowers, and the Brewers have put up a snowman at Wrigley.
Brewers TV, a majestic night at Wrigley Field. Welcome back to the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. You early risers up with us before the sun, or the sun's starting to roll in, right? We're just going to drive it in.
It's almost up now. It's glorious out there this morning.
We're getting to that season, that time of the year where it's long days. Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. NicoletLaw.com, talking text line 877-794-1973. It'll be pumping when we start buying and selling in the next hour of the program. But right now, let's go to our buddy Hunter Baumgart. He joined us live yesterday. He covers the Brewers for us, hosts the Brewers pregame show, Milwaukee's Baseball Tonight, always on Thursdays, as long as there isn't a night game. He'll be doing it this week as well. So let's take it to Hunter Baumgart for a recap of last night's victory at Wrigley.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers crushed the Cubs in their first meeting of 2026. That's always fun to say, right? A 9-3 victory last night. Let's get to the offense first. They scored 8 runs off of Shota Imanaga, who hadn't given up more than 4 earned runs in any start yet this season, and had given up 0 or 1 run in 6 of his 9 starts, but the Brewers crushed him for 8 runs. Jake Bauers went deep. Christian Yelich went deep. How about Yelich, right? He misses a month, comes back, plays a game, has to miss 4 more days, and then he's hit a homer in the 2 games after that. I mean, just special player. Jake Bauers, too, 19-game on-base streak, 9-game hitting streak. He's hitting about 450 over those 9 games, and 2 homers, 8 runs driven in over those 9 games, too. He has been special. And also, first time the Brewers had Yelich, Chourio, and Vaughn in the same lineup in 2026, and they scored 9 runs. Coincidence? I think not. On the pitching side, Brandon Sproat and Shane Drowan. That's all the Brewers needed to use. How about Drowan out of the pen? 4 1/3, no runs, 5 strikeouts, didn't walk a batter, saved that bullpen too. They're in the driver's seat for a series win. Miz on the mound tonight, Kyle Harrison on the mound tomorrow. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee at 5:30 this evening. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
So nice. We might have to listen to it twice. Hunter Baumgart with the recap of last night's proceedings.
Yeah, and to be able to know that you can be walking into the friendly confines, walking across the street from one of the establishments or the soon-to-be defunded DraftKings Sportsbook right outside of Wrigley Field.
Yeah, it's shutting down at the end of the month.
And listening to Hunter's pregame show, I don't know what's better than that walking into Wrigley Field.
Yeah,
that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to top. But that thing's starting up at 5:30 here today, going into a Miz day.
Hitting 2 balls off the scoreboard.
That might be better. Yeah, that's fair.
Nice.
I gotta say, I guess I didn't realize it. Shouldn't be that surprising. They haven't all been healthy that much at all. But Chourio, Vaughn, Yelich, all in the same lineup first time last night. You thought it would have happened throughout the week, getting Yelich some at bats in front of this Cubs series. Drew, apparently all he needed was 2 games.
That's it.
All he needed was 2 games, and he's ready to roll.
He's that guy. I mean, it's the same thing with Braun. Like the idea that Braun needed to go to like Appleton and get some swings, like. Come on.
Is there is that an old baseball thing that some old school guys would be rolling their eyes at? Like, everybody needs to go and see a couple of pitches. Everyone needs to go to Double-A, see a couple of pitches.
Yeah.
Because I like
Those
the fact
guys-
that even Woody's like, hey, I appreciate it, but if I'm going to throw some innings on this arm, it's going to be up here. I'm not going to go to Nashville. I'm not going to.
Why waste my bullets?
I'm sorry. I'm not wearing jean pants up in Appleton anymore. I'm going to be pitching in the big leagues. I'll figure it out, and I'll get some big league hitters out in the rehab.
Right.
Good to see Yelich hit with power, though, because with the back thing, that's the thing we always concerned about was how it would affect his power. So seeing both those homers of sight, obviously, for sore eyes. And, hey, I mean, if he's starting to get lathered up now, I mean, we're going to have a fun stretch here, so I like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yelich, give the
I like the lather up.
Hey, you like that one?
He doesn't. Yeah, you do need that. I mean, you do need your best player to, show up. And,
Right.
Well,
and take part.
And Chourio's been good, but he hasn't had a lot of homers yet.
Oh, that's for sure.
So that's fine. I mean, the Brewers, the team, haven't really, but if that's part of it and Yelich can get it going with the long ball, with the slugging, now it's a totally different dynamic for the offense.
There was Vinny said it last night on the broadcast, like, just wait till this team starts hitting homers. Well, I don't know that there's going to be a crazy amount of home runs in the lineup. There will be some, no doubt about it. And, but Jake Bauers, 19 consecutive games on base. Drew, he's really ruining the old adage. I mean, like Nagler's never right is one of my favorite
I love that.
common sayings. And Aaron Nagler walks in here this year on our draft show, fires out Jagger Burton, 10 picks later, he's a Green Bay Packer, right? Like, so there's things that you have to know are good for the brand and not. Jake Bauer's doing this out of spring training when being the talk of spring training, not good for the old adage of the red hot guy in spring training. You might as well send him down because he ain't doing that once he gets to the big club.
Yeah, he's kind of squashed that.
He has rolled that all through since the Cactus League.
Hit us up, 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talking text line ready for you as we begin our quest to buy and sell. Have some good ones. Doesn't have to be sports, but it certainly can be. It's a good jumping off point. But if you got anything else that you want to propose as a buy or sell proposition, yeah, I think so. I would say. Please share them with us. As we mentioned, Scott Dolphin joins us at 6:30 today. We're going to sneak in some Packers talk, even though they're starting OTAs next week. We'll sneak in some Packers talk as well. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. If the Brewers are going to win the Central again, they're going to need more of this.
The NLGS, and not interested in looking ahead either.
So sorry to interrupt. Here's Yelly going deep to make it 1-0 Brewers. Asserts himself into this series. His second home run in as many days.
Brewers TV on the call. Jake Bauers hit a long 3-run bomb as well. Brandon Sproat took a no-hitter into the fifth. The Brewers beat the Cubs in game one of their 3-game series 9-3 at Wrigley. Game 2 is tonight. Jacob Mizrowski will pitch against Ben Brown. First pitch is at 6:40. Stanley Cup playoffs, game 7 in overtime. Something's got to give. It finally did. The Canadians outlast the Sabres 3-2 in OT. Montreal moves on to play Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final. NBA playoffs last night. Game 1 goes to the Spurs. They beat the Thunder 122-115 in double overtime. Wemby with 41 points. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. Come right. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, be hand, see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Tuesday in the good land. Welcome into the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 in Madison, everywhere on that iHeart app of ours. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Time to get ready for a little buying and selling. You ready for a little radio trading? You ready for a little, negotiation, perhaps?
Trading posts was my first job in radio, Drew, so I'm always ready for the throwback.
That's that's amazing, Billy. I know Hunter did one like that once. That's sort of the format that's everybody's like rite of passage in radio, but that's sort of
the cutting edge outdoors. Deluxe Danny Bush and my man Tommy Neubauer. All of a sudden they're like, you know what? We should be trading here. If you got something to sell, let us know. And we brought that thing in on every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 a.m.
I got two $50 gas cards. Come make your bids on the NicolayLaw.com tab. Not really. I don't actually. But that's the way it was, right? And that's,
Yep.
and still is in some markets.
Armen wouldn't be giving anything away on here.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
I'd enjoy the hustle, the process, everyone trying to get deals and stuff like that, calling it. You got to have a good producer for that though, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we don't have one, so we can't do it. All right, buy or sell Tuesday here on the Huddle.
That was good.
877-794-1973, NicolayLaw.com talk and text line. I don't know if this is even a buy or sell, if it's even a question, but buying or selling that the NL Central is the best division in ball and remains so, even though 3 of the 5 teams are currently ensnared in 3-game losing streaks, including the Chicago Cubs.
And the 2 darlings of the division, the ones that everybody was excited for, and the team that the national shows, Drew, desperately want to win the division. I know the Cubs are rightfully so the favorite with the talent they got. Brewers have dominated it for the last decade, but it does appear that the national outlets really want Livy's man's team to roll through and want the Pittsburgh Pirates to be better than the maybe 500 outfit they are. They're on one of those 3-game losing streaks, but they could beat anybody. I'm with you. However, it does seem like we might be seeing a little bit of separation, huh?
The market's correcting. The Reds have lost 3 in a row, but they're 24-24. So everybody in the division's 500 or better.
Yeah, the Cardinals haven't really gone away yet. That's
Cardinals have been shocking the world. They got a good young core. Like suddenly, and Ollie Marmol's got them playing hard and playing right. And they got a bunch of dudes you never heard of that are killing it.
They're still on Armen. I still think they're a paper tiger. They're still on Armen watch. However, they're impressing me.
They're a half game behind the Brewers, who are a half game behind the Cubs. So this evening, with Miz on the mound, the Brewers can accomplish the triple whammy. They can win the series against the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
They can move to my magical early first goal of the season, 10 games
over 500,
and move into first place in the division. Not that matters, but a Brewers victory makes all three of those things reality tonight.
Oh, talk dirty to me. That's a good start at 6:05 in the
first
morning.
Place, 10 over. Cubs have lost 7 out of 10. Brewers are 14-5 in their last 19, playing a good stretch of ball right now.
Just living in that 8
Brewers
category in the
run
L10.
differential. Brewers plus 67, Cubs plus 36.
Love this. Yeah, I love that.
And somehow the Reds being 24 and 24 are minus 36 run differential, which tells you it's a house of cards that the market
that one will
is
crumble
correcting.
pretty quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, run differential.
Meanwhile, back among the tire and strip club ads, the Padres have overtaken the indomitable Dodgers for first place in the NL West. They moved past them by a half game by beating them 1-0 last night.
And they're just
Padres have won 4 in a row.
And the Padres are just whooping teams. Like, I mean, some of these
Good,
games
man.
that
For the
they've
Brewers
put
to
on
win
people,
that series is no joke.
No doubt. And they get the head-to-heads now with the Dodgers, and talk about kicking the crap out of somebody, kick the crap out of someone 1-0 last night. But you talk about that big hammer of Mason Miller at the back end. We watched what he did to finish off the Brewers a couple of one time last week. They're a legit club. That NL West, though, even the last teams that you would think of the Rockies and Giants are going to be in potentially, Drew, one of the more fascinating teams come the deadline, because it seems like they're going to try to ship off a lot of people, including maybe one of our old favorite friends there, Willie Adames. Does not seem to be painting himself in a lot of glory there in San Francisco.
He's out with a thumb now, too. He's got an injury.
Who do you know that needs a shortstop? I mean, no, I know it's not going to happen with that contract, but boy, wouldn't that be nice to have Willie back in the lineup? I think it'd be pretty nice to have him.
What are you, high?
No, why?
They just signed Cooper Pratt to be their shortstop of the future, right?
I mean, Jet Williams is ripping things on there in
right
AAA,
now.
too.
It'd be nice to have those type of numbers. I know it's not going to happen, okay? I'm just saying. Yeah, but you're right. But you're right.
Dan in West Bend is volunteering your services on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. I'm buying Armen hosting a Miz watch party for the listeners tonight.
Ooh, let's go.
Okay, nice.
Remember we used to do those on Twitch?
We used to do Twitch watch parties for the Packers.
And Armen would just pace and be in full Armen mode.
I still believe that a second screen with Armen now while he's on the Packers radio network
would be a good
might almost be better, because you would get to see, Drew, him in both of the best states of panic when potentially something can be going wrong at work and for his favorite team. If you really want to watch somebody suffer, Mr. Beast has made a fortune off forcing people to suffer in small rooms.
Yes,
We could, I think we should.
Pro.
We got to get into a little bit of our Mr. Beast action over here and start camming you up for these Packers games again.
And maybe that's the future, Billy. I absolutely see that there being something there.
We could get 3 angles in here and really change it up.
Oh man, that would be something wild, wouldn't it? That would be something wild. Yeah, once upon a time that was the mic'd up, that was the thing. So that would be pretty interesting, I think. But yeah, it'd have to be for the Packers, I think. I don't think I get to that level during Brewers regular season games. Although games like last night got me pretty jacked up. I'll admit that. So that'd be pretty good. Sponsored by Lexapro.
Yep. Sponsor. Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Well done.
Shout out to our pal Statman Steve, who always gets up early and takes nice pictures of the sunrise over the lake. Send us a photo. Shout out Statman Steve. He's officially our statistician and photographer of the Huddle.
That's what I'm talking about. And listen, when you're able to get some views like that, we are going to celebrate them and spotlight them, rightfully so. Drew, are you buying or selling the fact that OKC may have finally met their match? As we talked about a little bit in the first hour, they went through the night. They went through the entire year with very relatively little bits of conversation, even though they're trying to repeat for the first time since the Warriors in the KD years. However, not only just Wemby, from the whole cast of young guys. I mean, they were without De'Aaron Fox last night, and they were undeterred and unbothered rolling in to OKC, which was a house of horrors for other teams. Do you buy in that this is the only team that can threaten Golden State, or to threaten OKC and potentially put them back in the Giannis sweepstakes?
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you're OKC, I was saying you're not getting into the Giannis sweepstakes.
Unless
this 7'4" alien just cooks you and takes down
somebody to,
and you need to stop him. This might not only be the only thing that stops their dynasty, but might actually wake Sam Presti up to join the Giannis sweepstakes that people have been trying to throw them into.
Yeah, absolutely, Billy. And I think even if they beat him, let's say it's a tough series, they beat him, but look, you say, hey, this is going to be a tough battle for years to come. If we want to keep this thing going, we have to find the kryptonite, the counter for Wemby. And Giannis has been a guy that's been able to check him very well. Obviously, can match up with him. So that would be pretty interesting as the next, as the next page turns on this whole Giannis situation. Would that be a team to get involved? I do agree that I think that's the one team that can beat them. I think the Knicks would have a shot at it, but it'd be a longer one. So I don't want to call this the NBA Finals, but it sure does seem like it has.
To me, it feels like it.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of people try to say the Knicks would have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They have no chance.
No chance, Billy?
They have no chance against either of these squads. I mean, I don't think Caruso's putting up 30 in a whole lot more games if it's OKC, but I don't see Brunson getting around Castle much at all either. Like that whole team is legit that they got there.
Thing about watching OKC and San Antonio that brings into, again, we can say what you want about Doc and the lack of discipline. And those teams play D.
Big time, Drew. Yes.
And Wemby's like he's tired and he's a defensive force. He was more of an offensive force last night, but they're funneling stuff towards him.
He's a
defensively.
magic eraser. Yeah.
Yeah. Bucks used to do that with Brook, but he also he can lock guys down
for sure
on his own. The way they guarded SGA last night was real kind of interesting to see how they kind of tried to keep him in check.
They were really trying to bracket him and double through him as much. Man, Daigneault had some phenomenal sets late to at least open him up a couple of times. Drew, like I didn't think he was going to see the ball because of the length that the Spurs end up having.
The thing is, and that's the kryptonite for us, is great guards and great drive scores. Like Jalen Brunson is that guy, but when you have a guy, when you have a defensive unit like that, then the ultimate eraser in Wemby and the angles he creates and all the way he can erase shots at the rim, it just changes the dynamic and changes the equation so much for the offense.
Are you buying or selling that the New Orleans Pelicans should be your second favorite NBA team if you're a Milwaukee native? Because they just hired Jamal Mosley, who we only kind of claim. He lived here till he was 13. Then he moved away.
Tough one for us to take.
Tough one for us to take. He didn't go. If he had gone to high school here, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But he moved away at 13, moved to California, played college basketball at Colorado, and now he's an NBA coach. Second time now. He was in Orlando, hired by the Pelicans, who already have Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of local ties.
Wow. Okay.
Milwaukee South down on the bayou. So that's kind of a,
Well, and I can get down with that because I can always enjoy something New Orleans, right? Like I'm never going to be New Orleans negative. So any reason to enjoy them, I will do. I also are we completely done with the Holiday deal, right? They get one more Bucks pick, I think, in the Drew Holiday trade.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And then it's officially over.
Like it's going forever, feels like,
because it kind of has. And granted, worth it, right? Worth it to put him in a 21 jersey in 2021. But I can get down with that. In the same area, you buying or selling, Drew, as we're going to be talking a lot of Packers here today at our Packers speaker series, our Packers luncheon going on at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Excited for everyone that's going to be there, and those that aren't missing out. Hopefully you can next time. We will talk a little bit of schedule, a little bit of draft. Are you buying that New Orleans is actually the best road environment, the best road game on this Packers schedule? Because I get, Christmas in Chicago, I do believe that's going to be a hot ticket. Packers Bears at Lambeau right now, top 5 highest resale price.
The hottest ticket
in the NFL.
That's the number one game on the Packers schedule because it's the one everybody wants because it's $3.25. It's not a night game for people. That is the hugest thing. Like these Packers night games are great if you live within an hour of Lambeau.
If you're close, yeah.
And that's 100%. A growing thing. Like it's starting to be where people are like, less and less really ready to go to any game that's at night. They're getting tired of that, but yeah, that's going to be a really big game, obviously, for obvious reasons. Rivalry, 325. You mentioned.
But as you try to find the best road game to go to, the schedule now out for a week. People are planning the trips. My pops and his road crew are planning the trip. They picked New Orleans. They circled it. I was like, you guys are going to have no fun going to be had on that trip at all. But as I looked through it, Drew, I mean, yeah, Los Angeles is fun. I don't know about on Thanksgiving Eve to go out to SoFi. It kind of looks like the maybe not only the best one, the only one that people are really going to be making a destination on this road schedule.
Could be. I mean, that's something we'll be talking about for sure. Not only where the games lie and, how the season's going to flow. I'm not usually that excited about schedule, but I think this, because a lot of times you say, like last year was like, ooh, they got a tough look at the early bye and they're going to have to run the gauntlet. And look what happened. The wheels fell off because key guys got hurt and stuff. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of built-in time off. They have a long stretch where they only play a couple of games. It's a weird schedule, but I think it's in the Packers' favor. So
I also,
right now
you said it. I don't know like how you would have picked it differently.
I mean, it seems like you got some soft opponents during the 4 games when Parsons is likely out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect timing for Bears and Cowboys right there, smack dab.
For him to come back right for those games is like,
have it circled for the rest of the rehab of these are the games that you're going to be to. Andrew, you just hit it on the head. Immediately you look at the schedule and you look at the bad things. Maybe it's just how we look at a lot of things in life nowadays. We're immediately trying to think of the negatives. Yeah. I went straight to the positives on this one. So if it's breaking the way that we're thinking, then it must be probably the best way that they could have built out the schedule. I'm excited to hear what Wayne and Wes think about it here today. But like the trip to New England, sure. I don't know that a whole lot of people are salivating to go out to Foxborough.
Foxborough's in a random place. It's not. The thing about New Orleans is it's so convenient, walkable for a trip.
Yes.
Like Foxborough's really not. LA's not really. I mean, you're going to be driving out cabs, all
that's
that stuff.
That's Inglewood, that's for sure.
But we went there for the Super Bowl, and that was my first time there, so it totally changed my perspective and how wonderful it was to be able to walk everywhere and be able to be accessible to stuff. It's just easier when you're making a tourism type trip to do that. So,
by the way, suddenly it slipped out. I just saw online the Packers Steelers exhibition opener preseason.
Yes, sir.
Has been set for August 13th, a 6 o'clock start, which is a Thursday
night, baby.
Yep. Which means maybe we'll get Thursday or Friday games, behind that.
Oh, for the other ones. Okay. I like Cardinals. Where your head's at. Yes.
Yeah.
And Drew, I also wonder why more teams wouldn't do that, especially towards the end of training camp. Like you could then give yourself an even for teams like the Packers, who the only real quibble you could have is the Packers don't have like a true bye, right? They play a week and a half and a week and a half with that LA on a Wednesday game. So that could be like your only quibble with it. Why would you not build out more of an actual break before you get back for the first game? Like you play that last preseason game as early as possible, get the boys out, get some rest, and then come back here and be ready to roll.
And that's that last exhibition game is Mike and Matt going against each other, and they're going to have the joint practice before, which is more than the game because no one's going to play in the game. So it's,
Well, and again, here's another reason why you do that one earlier. You got Mike, you got Matt, you got the families up here. You might as well go to the lake house during the weekend.
Absolutely.
So let's play it on Thursday, play it early, go and enjoy a couple of days at the lake, come back and refocused and rejuvenated.
I like that. I like that plan.
All right, I got to buy
selfish.
No INT, but media starts with me.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I wasn't happy to see a night game. All right, another buy or sell here before we get to Dolph. Guys, buy or sell. It's been no accident that Giannis has seemingly been on the Chamber of Commerce tour on southeastern Wisconsin. At least it seems like that to me. First, it was pictures of them at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Mm-hmm. Then it was the gymnastics meet they were at. Very local thing, very ordinary dad thing. And now it's yesterday, it was a picture from St. Francis de Sales, the seminary in Milwaukee, where he went to visit the seminary, take a tour, got a rosary for his mom from the wonderful father there. I forget it. Father Luke Strand. I just wanted to give him a shout out there. I love Giannis, but I don't think it's by accident that he's been seemingly going on this public PR tour. In this, is this part of the game of chicken between him and the Bucks in this sort of, does he want to be here? Loyalty? Does he actually want to be here? Kind of thing. Because there have been accusations lobbed at him now that he's, kind of a fake or a liar or whatever, or doesn't really want to be here, things like that. And it just seems to be no accident that all of a sudden he's on the tourism tour of southeastern Wisconsin.
That's a good question. I heard one of the panel guys, I don't know if it was Perkins or somebody, on one of the talking head shows. Yeah, it's just background, right? Wallpaper.
Sure. Yeah.
One of them said, look who's running the Bucks now. Giannis doesn't have the relationship with Jimmy Haslam that he does with that he did with Mark Lazary, who dipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know what their relationship is or was, but he said, what happened with Jimmy Haslam with a guy named Myles Garrett, who wanted out and was as good as gone, and exit visas had been issued. And where's Myles Garrett playing?
What's that routing number?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
Where
Jimmy
is
Haslam
Myles
move.
Garrett playing? So Jimmy Haslam, maybe that's recent history of him. Like, yes, the Browns have stepped in it and made some horrific decisions in the Haslam regime, including Deshaun Watson. But that one,
Deshaun Watson,
they kept the guy.
Well, how did he miraculously, Drew, after in the morning, all the reports from everybody in the news breaking outlets were like, hey, by the way, Cleveland out. Cleveland's out. He's not going to Cleveland. He's going to either go to Atlanta or somewhere else. And Jimmy Haslam said, okay.
Yeah.
What's that routing number?
Give me that check.
Here's 80 million more guaranteed. Good luck. He's always been able to fix things with money.
That's right.
And if he can write that big check, then maybe that's the only deal.
Maybe they can do a Kawhi and give Giannis a board position at the Flying J.
I was going to say, are we now watching it on that investigation, or are we doing the aspiration one to see if the Bucks are going to get in that one?
It's just interesting because it's like a relationship. It's like, well, you didn't really want me because you didn't do enough, and you didn't want me, so they don't want me. No, they don't want me. So
Giannis going to the seminary in St. Francis, maybe going near the old stomping grounds, that old Cousins Center.
Good question. Now,
right over by the old Cousins Center.
Is he embracing the Wisconsin summer lifestyle, or is he saying farewell? That's what Armen's trying to say.
Or he's showing the kids, this is where Dad grew up, and we're never going here again.
And is it intentional? I mean, I think that it's affecting him a little bit to see the fan base turn on him, and he wants everyone to know, I'm one of you. I'm a normal person. That I'm in Milwaukee, whether or not you believe it. And I understand that is a part of this mix right now. And it's like, yes, is he preparing to leave saying, I wanted to be here?
Has he done his usual offseason thing of following everybody that's connected with the team? Remember, he's done that in the past, and we freak out about it.
Everyone freak out. But I think it's like the opposite. I was like, he's like embracing social media.
Right here, buddy.
That's one for the smart, good-looking listeners to chew on. 877-794. 197.3. Halftime is approaching. Dolph will be here.
Tom's Diner.
We'll get his thoughts.
And right here, buddy, that's where Dad used to run ones, but not at 1:30 on Thursdays. That's when the priests were playing. We couldn't play there.
Right. Dolph is up next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. This portion of the Huddle brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Find a clinic near you. Sign up for that free no obligation consult. See if they can change your life. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Get back in the game. Get your energy back. Reclaim your life, especially those hours after 6 o'clock. If you find yourself just glued to the couch when it's nice outside and you should be doing stuff, playing with the kids and have more energy, visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Scott Dolphin is in the game with us. It's halftime of the Huddle, and Dolph is here from the country station down the hall, FM 106.1. And Dolph, the more videos I've seen, we're further away from Saturday night, but I keep seeing more videos. Like Con Knipple was at the
how about that?
Luke Combs show. Awesome. Like the Packers were like having various parties and stuff, and they weren't just shotgunning beers on stage. Let me say that.
Right.
With OTA slated for next week. They got after it a little bit.
You got time. Some teams already into their OTAs, right? So the Packers get a little bit extra time. It's good to see as a guy that's worked in country music for a long time. I love the fact that people are really embracing people like Luke Combs. Not that the country has not been embraced going back to the Garth Brooks days, but it's like everybody's into country right now.
Luke Combs playing, and he's just like, he was a travel ambassador for Visit Wisconsin. He played Whistling Straits. He bought some lemonade at a roadside stand on the way back.
Left a $120 tip for 3 kids selling lemonade in Cleveland, Wisconsin.
Goodness, it's unreal. Yeah, and then, I didn't even know he was a golfer, but I suppose a lot of country guys are.
Don't know how much of a golfer he is. I think I heard him say one time he's like
I think he's our kind of golfer.
Yeah, he's like a 15 handicap, so he probably shoots mid-80s, which at Whistling Straight, so he probably shoots 100, maybe 90s or 100.
Well, it'd be tough to be one of those guys because you miss one time on one of those tips, you're going to hear about it from everybody. You got to tip everybody over the top all the time.
That's true.
And it's like, well, this guy is, you better tip hundreds of dollars to these kids. Like, it's never going to be enough for people.
Yeah, but I think you would also, I think you would be surprised at the amount of cash that comes in there without the names that probably drop even bigger tips that doesn't matter. There's probably some huge, heavy hitters that are playing that course that if you don't tip, then CEO of what company in here? Yeah, we're gonna have more problems.
I always remember Tiger. Might have been his first mate. I don't know. He was playing somewhere. He was playing at Whistling Straits, or for some reason, and he went into a little pizza place in Haven up there and dropped $100 tip. And I thought that's cool. So he kind of set the standard.
So the country music golf thing, though, I know there's a few guys that can really sling it at the stick.
Oh, right? Yeah. Well, Jake Owen, who's going to be here in Milwaukee this week, is probably close to scratch. I mean, he had a chance early in his career at Florida State to play collegiate golf. I don't think he did play at FSU, but there's been other guys that have played college golf. Dustin Lynch was a D1 golfer at Lipscomb University, and George Burge, who is really on the scene big right now, was a walk-on that made the team at Texas when Scotty Scheffler was there, back not that long ago. So there's some really good golfers.
Internet says Kip Moore also played college golf at Valdosta State, and Colt Ford was on the court.
Isn't Vince Gill pretty good too?
Vince Gill
has always been really good. I remember my days when I did mornings out in Monterey. He was always at Pebble Beach for the AT&T.
And he played the Tahoe thing and stuff. And then Willie Nelson bought a 9-holer like a half hour north of Austin, and they're like, "Hey, what's par there?" And he's like, "Whatever I set it at." Yes, he's like, "Today it was 87. Today it was 87, and I broke par."
That was it. What a way to live.
He's like, "Whatever I set it at." Like, whatever. So that's
Willie turned 93 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And he's still bringing his Outlaw Music Festival to Alpine Valley this summer.
Absolutely,
he's doing what he loves all the way till that is amazing stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
Basically, he sits during the show now and stuff, but he's bringing Whiskey River.
He's got COPD, but
he's got like an oxygen
still
tank.
Letting it rip, though.
Still letting it rip.
He's well medicated.
Oh,
very well medicated.
If you're 93, you won, man. I mean, it doesn't matter what you have. Like, you know what I mean?
And listen, Toby Keith wrote a song called "I'll Never Smoke Weed with Willie Again." I have never partaken in weed with Willie, but I have been on that bus multiple times before a show, and contact high is a real thing.
Just next level, huh?
Yep.
What if him and Don Nelson hung out? Is that like Jordan LeBron?
You get the Mount Rushmore of Don Nelson, Willie Nelson, Snoop.
Well, weren't they a part of the weren't both of them a part of the poker games? Right? Don and Willie were a part of the Hawaii poker games.
That's right. So that must have been a wild room.
Yeah, 100%. They're blowing O's down there.
No,
that'd be amazing.
But how do you even read the cards at that point? You know what I mean? With that room,
right? That was where the Chauncey Billups cards first started, just so everybody actually knew the hands, so they didn't mess up on counting.
That's great.
Right. So, Dolph, as our resident Bears fan, we got to pick your brain a little bit. Your thoughts when the Brewers are putting a snowman up on the Cubs, leading 8-0, and you start to hear Green Bay sucks cascading down from the stands at Wrigley Field.
That is a rally cry. It doesn't matter if the Brewers are playing the Cubs or the Brewers are playing the White Sox or the Packers are playing the Bears. You will hear Green Bay sucks at every Chicago sporting event. I went to three games and the playoff game at Soldier Field this year. None of them were against the Packers, and the Green Bay sucks chant happens every single game before, during, and after the football game.
It's so funny to me.
It's I'm sure they took it from Packers fans with the Bears still suck, but Green Bay sucks is something you just laugh now when you hear it. It's heard all the time.
Popped up when the Cubs were playing the White Sox.
That's when you know there's
on the south side over the weekend. That's the one thing they could agree on.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
We might hate each other today, but we still hate that team up north even more.
Now, I went to the Viking game and the Lion game, and of course those fans love that as well because everybody hates the Packers.
Yeah, they'll join in on that.
So everybody's in unison going through the tunnels at Grant Park saying Green Bay sucks.
I got to get one of the and Detroit fans love it because they did the Green Bay sucks thing with the Amon-Ra St. Brown t-shirt, right? When he walked into the Packers Lions game, Green Bay sucks. I got to get one of those Detroit sucks shirts because there's never been more fact of matter statement.
Just an assumption.
Right. I mean, just like a fact of the city. But like when you do have the duality of our baseball teams getting smacked, however, we still hate them. Collectively, we can bring this together and still tell all of you to F off. I think that's my favorite part of not understanding. There's probably a decent amount of those Brewers fans that some might be Cubs or Bears fans. They also would be too many of those Cubs fans that some of them might be Packers fans. They're like, yeah, they suck. They suck. I'm not going to talk, though, because I'm not trying to get yelled at.
I have to count on both hands. I know people that are both Cubs and Packers fans.
For sure.
Big time.
Yeah.
Right, like the little bit of a combo, and they're sitting there like, all right, I'm just going to join in so I don't get yelled at.
You go to Kenosha, man. That is a city divided.
DMZ.
You drive down any street, you'll see as many Bear lights as Packer lights, but you also see as many Cubs lights as Brewers lights.
Big time.
True. That's right. Did you see yesterday the Cubs had to, but pregame they had to tamp out that fire from PCA yelling at the woman.
Speaking of White Sox,
how did they do that? How did they do that?
Counsel just said he made a mistake and he apologized for his choice of words in the heat of the moment. I play at a high level of intensity and it just got the best of me. And I shouldn't have said what I said. And the women who know me in my life would know that I'd never say that towards them. And that's just
I thought he said the Sox are sick.
The Sox are sick. That's more or less.
That's what he said.
Enough,
Sox
right.
are sick.
But
we had a chance to go to that Crosstown Classic for several years in a row. It is nuts, man. How you have families divided that end up screaming at you, disowning each other.
Yeah, it looks fun. That type of rivalry to have two in the same city like that. And I don't know. I thought it was good form on both of them. Talk trash to the player, talk trash back. That's what makes sports fun. But you don't have to use those words maybe, but that's what makes sports fun. I didn't think it was a big deal.
But what ribbing doesn't use a little bit of vulgar words, right?
I mean, everyone was soft about it a little bit, to be honest.
Especially these days.
Right, it's kind of tough for that, especially these days, Drew. Yeah, it hurt a lot worse.
There's so many worse old clips. I know Armen watches old sports. Yes, it's true. But you look back in some old clips, there are so many worse examples of interactions with
this
fans
wasn't Malice at the Palace.
No.
It wasn't Mike Milbury going into the stands.
This was closer to me. This was closer to the KD interaction with the Dallas fans, where the guy's like, "Hey, I have this podcast about sports, man. I'm sorry."
KD's awesome with that stuff. How about Robin Ficker? Remember him?
Yes, the fan behind the Bullets bench,
who was nonstop screaming. I mean, it got to the
this
point
guy
where
was a lawyer, and he would just sit. But he had season tickets behind the visiting bench, and would just harass. And he would go deep. He was like basically, he was like the entire Duke student body student section.
Awesome.
A one-man Duke student section.
He was, and you thought, not knowing who he was unstable. Turns out, he was a DC attorney.
He's a big-time lawyer.
I think that the opposing teams almost look forward to the interaction with him after a while.
It was so funny.
It
was so funny.
Larry Bird in his book talked about there was a couple lawyers or something like Bucks in Milwaukee that in the 80s would be behind their bench constantly harassing the Celtics too. One time McHale started punching one of them during the game. It's out there's video. I mean, these things do happen. Yeah. I'm not condoning melees and stuff, obviously, between players and fans. I'm just saying these things do happen, and sometimes that's part of the fun of sports.
My favorite Robin Ficker anecdote was when Sam Smith from the Tribune wrote the Jordan rules, and the book was like the churn. It was like all the talk of while Jordan was at the peak of his powers, and Ficker's like the Bulls visit the Wizards, or I guess the Bullets back then.
Yeah.
and he's like in the first row, and he's got the book, and he's reading passages of it. To the Bulls bench.
That's brilliant. I mean, that is so funny.
And he's just like,
awesome.
Hey, BJ Armstrong, did he really hit you? Like,
right.
Can you it says here, but he's like reading the book to him.
That's
How would you sit on a
amazing.
bench and as a player not appreciate?
Oh, that's the thing. You talk to most players, and they when someone says, something about your mom or someone says
stupid,
something vulgar, it's just dumb. But if it's elevated and if it's clever,
yes,
they'll like it. It's like, all right, that's pretty good.
Rogers told a great story of when he was on the bench and he was one of the backups in Philadelphia. He's like, the best thing was this one guy for 4 full quarters just said, Rogers, you done picking thorns out of your ass? You done picking slivers out? You're not getting in this game. You done? He finally looked up. He's like, after 4 quarters of hearing it, I had never been so hammered throughout the entire game. I just had to give him a nod and congratulations. Like that's intensity that I can't mimic. You gotta give it up to him.
That's amazing.
The late great Darrell Hamilton was playing center field for the Brewers in Yankee Stadium, and they were wearing him out for some reason. Kind of an anonymous guy on an anonymous team, but they were wearing him out. And then he turned to him, acknowledged him, and then he reached into his back pocket for an imaginary wallet and started peeling off cash. And then they liked him and they started cheering for him. And later in the game, he gets a base hit in that section out in the outfield. So
Awesome.
They became Hamilton fans.
Man, when I was in high school, we were just screaming at Ryan Ludwig. For what reason? I don't know. Left fielder at that point, no longer for the Cardinals. I want to say it was the Padres at the time.
I think he was with the Padres,
we're just wearing this guy out in the left field bleachers for, again, no apparent reason. He hit one of the furthest home runs I've ever seen in the middle of the 5th inning. And that son of a gun walked right out to left field. He didn't throw a ball the entire time. He just stared up there and just giggled. He's like,
how do you like
thank
me
you.
now?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are fun, man. It can be fun. It's supposed to be fun, but when it gets heated like it did with PCA, he was vulgar, and people were saying he should be fined or suspended. I don't know that either is going to happen.
I was just kind of hoping for.
But it was, and everything's caught on video now, Dolph. Whereas,
yeah, and you're talking about a guy that's really struggling this year too, right? He just like last night up there, he just fishing at everything, and that's kind of been the MO on that guy. Once pitchers figure him out, multi-talented. Still a great player, but boy, I'm sure that added to his frustration.
So it's like, it's almost hard for me to get worked up about that because, this rising young 24-year-old star for the Cubs said something to a woman that was, yes, vulgar and untoward. Shouldn't have said it. But I'm old enough to remember when Tony Phillips fought a guy behind the bleachers during a game at County Stadium. Tony Phillips, the White Sox outfielder, got in a fight with a guy that meet me back over there, and he walked out the tunnel and went in that little alley between the bleachers and the grandstand.
And I think wasn't Twitter now anymore. There
that's
wasn't
just
a video. There wasn't social media to get everyone in a frenzy about it.
I was just going to say the same thing, Armen. You would see that more often, but now these guys know with social media, there's no way you can do it.
Yeah, but some of the best stories and memories you have are those when you hear a guy, like when you're a kid at a game and somebody was heckling somebody, and to get the player to actually acknowledge it.
It was a good moment, wasn't it?
I don't. My 13th birthday party, we gave it to BJ Surhoff when he was in the Orioles. Brewers were playing the Orioles. Me and my buddy Vince Zamora, we were just all over him. And then I always felt bad about that because I always felt like it was fun. And I'm like, I think BJ heard us because he looked up and he's like, why are these kids yelling, Surhoff, you suck? Because he was used to be a Brewer, and I didn't really understand it well. Enough back then to think more of like, was it a trade or free agency? I don't even remember. But man, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe he's thinking about me tonight. I don't want that.
Last week was the 30th anniversary of Tony Phillips at County Stadium, May 15th, 1996. That was the fog game. They had a fog delay, and I remember it was like they were wondering what to do, and they brought both coaches out from both teams and hit like hit fly balls to see if the outfielders could see the ball. And so Tony Phillips gets into it. Fans are wearing him out. The 6th inning, he's removed from the game. He showers, gets into street clothes, goes behind the stands and fights a 23-year-old from Racine.
That's amazing.
Milwaukee County District Attorney, I think it was E. Michael McCann, did not press criminal battery charges because the confrontation involved a scuffle where both parties shared the blame. Both Phillips and the fan received $287 disorderly conduct tickets.
Unlike Randall Simon.
There we go. You're separate ways.
Who was charged and prosecuted.
That's right. And Gene Budig, who was the president of the American League at the time, fined Phillips $5,000, and the White Sox fined him an undisclosed amount for leaving the bench and the clubhouse during a game.
Remember when we used to have presidents of the American and National League, and their autograph was actually scrawled across the ball in those days.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I still have a foul ball that I got that has Gene.
He said, all right, let's go settle this outside.
I love that.
Let me just step out here with me real quick.
Here you go, Drew. I found this from the Tribune. We on our way
Cash me outside. How about that?
Cash me outside. How about that? On our way up the ramp, we ran into Brewers beat writer Tom Harjicourt that said, "How about Tony Phillips?" And they said, "What? Tony Phillips? What are you talking about?" It's in the Tribune article, and Tom told the assembled press corps in Chicago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there was. I think what happened was we found out about that later. And then, I think one of the beat guys had already left. Like the Chicago beat guys had already packed up and left. And sorry, you missed it, man.
Missed
the story.
Sorry, dude.
Everybody else has the story about your outfielder fighting a fan.
And that's why, kids, you always go the extra mile. That's why you make sure that you never leave because the story might just be starting.
And if you're that 23-year-old guy from Racine who's now in his 50s, you probably have that article hanging on your wall in your sports rec room downstairs.
That's right behind the bar, 100%.
Sure. I fought a major league athlete.
I whooped him, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That fight has gotten so much better in his favor over the years.
I don't remember Tony Phillips being an imposing guy when he played.
He was crazy, but he wasn't big.
Right.
He was crazy.
I remember him when I was in the Bay Area with Oakland.
Yeah.
Did he have to go to get the surgically implanted cauliflower ear, or did he earn one?
Yeah, he probably would have earned it.
He would have earned it.
In a fight. He was a guy you wouldn't want to mess with. He was all kinds of crazy.
There's a lot of good coverage from this.
Always good memory lane. Yeah, 30 years ago last week. Tony Phillips fighting. See, that's like so. Oh, PCA yelled at a woman. Well, Tony Phillips fought a guy in the stands. Let's come on.
Worse.
Miss me with
under
that.
the bleachers. Let's go.
Exactly. Dolph, thank you for popping in. As always, appreciate it. Halftime is over. Let's have an Uncrustable, have an orange slice, and get back after it. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this Tuesday. Buying and selling, NicoletLaw.com, talking text line 877-794-1973. Gets you in. Give us your buy or sell propositions. Time for a little who's hot and who's not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Plenty of candidates all around. Who's hotter than Wemby right now? I'm the captain now.
Yeah, Drew, I don't know anybody's going to be able to take that throne. My man goes for 41-24, 3 blocks last night and a steal, plus 16 in the category, 12 of 13 from the line, and hit a logo 3 that was about as crazy of a shot as I've been able to witness. My man just stepped into it, didn't know that he wanted to shoot it, kind of off balance, awkwardly. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to throw it up. Why not?
He just
drops it down.
Yeah, and it's obviously an important one. They were down 3 in the
ties it in single. That was first overtime.
Yeah,
I think. Yes.
Just a nasty shot. I mean, he just pulled up and boom, just nailed it. So, say what you want about, what the greatest players, greatest talents could be. Not many guys have the tools and the ability to do what he does. So
no, but the couple in the not category from the game would be the big men from Oklahoma City. Isaiah Hartenstein last year was everybody's favorite. He was so good. And so valuable. Played 12 minutes last night. 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Played off the floor with Wemby. And Chet Holmgren had his big moment on the block to force overtime, but he had just 8 points in 41 minutes. Shea, 7 of 23, just not enough in 51 minutes of action last night. But Alex Caruso in the hot category, he sparked one of my favorite conversations we've had on the in the young infancy of the Huddle program, where he brought up if and how many NBA players could go on to any random team in the NCAA tournament and win the championship. Well, if Alex Caruso is going to shoot like that, I don't know what team you would have thrown him on, but he would have had a chance.
Oh, sure.
That would have been a different version of Alex Caruso doing it. But he is in a rare air, guys, where he's like the Hall of Fame of role players, right? Not going to be an NBA Hall of Famer, but if he wins it here, he's got 3 titles, 2 different teams, and a massive, massive part of it.
Well, he was basically almost the reason the Thunder almost won last night in a lot of
8
ways.
Triples last night.
He was their guy. So that was, you look at it a couple of ways. This is either a bad sign for the Thunder or a good one that, okay, we couldn't win in double overtime with him doing that. Are we in big trouble? Because, what I mean?
I thought that, Armen, but then I as I was watching the game, I thought it would be the worst possible outcome and might be Thunder in 5 if the Spurs wouldn't have won last night.
Sure.
Because then you almost have to win 5 games because they dominated that game for the majority of the night. They were ahead. That would have been a tough one to get over, I think, if you don't pull that one out.
No doubt.
How about in the hot category, also the Montreal Canadiens? They find themselves into the conference finals. Oklahoma City had not lost the playoff game all playoffs long, Drew. Montreal gets Carolina waiting for them. They haven't lost a playoff game all playoffs long. Little rest versus rush deal here with the always frugal Carolina Hurricanes.
There you go. I like that. Always frugal.
When Tom Dundon enters the conversation, I got to drop that. Who's hot, who's not. Don't ever be worried about if you're a little frugal, you're going to get a great deal. Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, 3 great locations, also opening a new one as well. But they do HVAC, Drew. In a time where people want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, Donovan Jorgensen's like, hey, HVAC, you got the problems? We got the answers. Call us. You won't have to call anybody else.
You know who better be hot? Gardner Minshew and Carson Beck. We're getting the snaps at Cardinals OTAs because Jacoby Brissett is holding out.
Is that overplaying your hand? Maybe a tick?
You're Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as close to the Steve Haywood. He's still getting a check.
He's your starting quarterback.
He's holding out.
Who else is going to do it? But I get your point.
Over under for Mike LaFleur victories.
Oh boy.
I would put it at 3.5. I'll have the Potawatomi Sportsbook number for you here in a second, but I can't imagine it's much more than that.
More than 3.5, or they can't win more. If they win more than 5 games, just put them in Canton.
Over 4.5 is plus 120.
Right, there you go.
Love
I dare somebody to make that bet.
All right, buying and selling today. We're having some fun on a Tuesday. We got this club going up, Billy.
Yeah, dang right it does, baby. Come on now.
Brewers Cubs talk will continue. We're going to listen to Hunter again, too, before we get out. It's The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. We start in Chicago, where the signs are all positive for the Brewers retaking the top spot in the Central.
And a drive to right. This ball is hammered way back and gone. A 3-run shot for Bowers, and the Brewers have put up a snowman at Wrigley.
Brewers TV with the call. Christian Yelich also went deep for the second time in 2 games as he looks to get back to form. The Brewers beating the Cubs in game 1 of their 3-gamer at Wrigley 9-3. Game 2 is tonight. The Cubs' lead in the division is down to just a half game. NBA playoffs last night, an absolute barn burner in Oklahoma City. The Spurs come away with a double overtime win, 122-115. Wemby with 41 points and 24 rebounds. And in overtime, it was the Canadians moving on to beat the Sabres 3-2 in Game 7 in overtime. Montreal moves on to play Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we go more down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zip, don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Fired up on a Tuesday in the good land. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Show we call The Huddle. 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Worldwide on that iHeartRadio app. Streaming live for all you early risers. Facebook, X, YouTube.
Good morning.
Hello. Having some fun in the wake of the Brewers 9-3 series opener against the Cubs last night at Wrigley Field.
How can you not have fun when Yelich hits a bomb to start out the proceedings? Jake Bauers continues to rake Bowers. And Drew, when you get two guys that before the offseason, I can't say I had any clue what a Shane Drowan or a Brandon Sproat was. But I'm glad that Matt Arnold knew who they were during the offseason. I'm glad he targeted them in 2 big-time trades that the Brewers were able to make. And those 2 guys, 2 rookies, go out and shove for 9 innings against that lineup. That's a game to make you smile to start out a series, knowing that you get Miz and Harrison for the next 2 with a chance to win the series.
Yeah, chance to sweep now. Let's get greedy.
That's the tough part. When do you allow yourself to think about getting greedy? Is it only after the second win, or like last night when you're staring down the barrel and knowing that it's win day when Miz has been pitching and Kyle Harrison's been as good as anybody in ball? It is a little hard to not have your eyes circled on that thought if you're walking out of Chicago with a 1.5 game lead.
I think if and when you get the lead in game 2, that's for me at least. If and when you get the lead in game 2.
That would be when you put the cookies in the oven.
That's when my cookies are baking in the oven. That's when I can start to smell them, especially if it's a nice thick lead. You know, like last night's was
nice
like,
thick one.
You know, if it's
really sink your teeth into.
Right, exactly. If it's 1-0 in the first, that's not near as, thick enough. But if it's something like last night and you're like, all right, we should have had this thing in the bag, our win probabilities in the 90s, and you start to feel good. And that's when you start to do it for yourself. That's when you start to try and think about, boy, we could sweep. We could never lose again. Like, those are the type of fantasies you have as a sports fan. That's how people think. That's how we think. So it was definitely a fun way to start the proceedings last night. There's no question about it. You couldn't have asked for something better.
No. Wind blowing out 77 degrees and Wrigley in a May.
Oh, gorgeous
18th.
one.
And you got guys now, and like, you look at a guy like Jake Bauers, and it's like, how do you sit him right now? Like, you can't, like, he's becoming, not just a guy that's doing enough to be a role player. And we always joke about how he just does just enough, Billy, to keep his job all the time. he's becoming one of the most important bats in the lineup right now and one of your best hitters. I mean, he's primed for a big year here.
I was thinking of productive first baseman not named Prince Fielder, and the one I could think of was Lyle Overbay.
For sure.
Good one.
Great man.
And I think he was probably a better player. Like he had some 50 double seasons.
I was going to say he led the league in doubles one year, didn't he?
One year was a monster year, yeah.
I think he had 2 50 double seasons for the Brewers, maybe.
That
But
sounds right.
Lyle Overbay was pretty productive, but they've been pretty much stumbling around looking for a first baseman since, and Vaughn was the juice last year.
For
He was
sure.
so hot, right?
Well, they had that streak with like 10 different first basemen opening day.
Oh, yeah.
What was that streak? It was some
It was
crazy.
Chris Carter, Eric Thames. Like they had guys that were good for a short
And
dose.
Choi got himself in there one time.
Troy opening day.
Didn't Reynolds start one?
I think might have, yeah. So
Aguilar,
it's been a long look for. They need a first baseman, but Vaughn is good, but Bowers, man, you're right. How do you take him out of the lineup?
Well, he was almost more, it felt like of a stopgap guy, right? Like get in here and be able to keep it patched together until the big dogs get back. And instead, he's just continued to be a part of it. And he was one of the early moves for Matt Arnold, right? Like Blake Perkins and Jake Bowers. Like, okay, sweet. Now let's start acquiring some major league players. Let's start getting some guys that are actually going to play on the big club. And instead, both of them have been, albeit somewhat replaceable, the guys that right now have had stretches where you just haven't been able to take them out.
Yeah, and guys you need. I mean, for when Churio was, out, obviously Yelich, those guys getting the cavalry back.
I'll tell you this. I've also seen far more number 9 Jake Bowers jerseys running around American Family Field than I ever would have imagined.
And not just Carson's, right? I mean,
no, and like that, we were in the bleachers when he hit the bomb the first night in the Wisco jerseys, and the one guy came down in a Bowers jersey. Guy behind us said, "That's it. I'm going and buying one." Right after he hit the bomb. So you see more of them, and then we find if he can keep himself in the mix. Drew, there was a really cool piece that Murph had on, I can't remember which one of the MLB Network shows he was on. They all seem somewhat together, but the Amzinger one. So was the afternoon show before one of the games against the Twins. And he went back to the normal joke of, I don't think a whole lot of people know a lot of our guys' names. I don't think they have a whole lot of idea who some of these guys are. But he also said that he's like, the lefty-righty thing to me, yeah, never made sense. He's like, I don't fully get it. I don't fully believe in it. You got to figure out how to hit both of them. And last night, Bowers in there lefty against lefty, the numbers would indicate that Imanaga is actually tougher against righties.
That's right.
And it was the 2 lefties that left the yard last night.
Yep. Both lefties went hit massive scoreboard denting home runs.
And now I don't know this for sure. There were a couple of online reports indicating that Bowers legit hit his name on the scoreboard.
I like that. See that. That's cool.
Now, is that a little freaky, or is that just the craziest oddity you could have in sports?
Yeah, that's up there as like sort of rare. It's iconic. I don't think it's freaky, but it's pretty cool. Like if you can hit your name, like that's like when you call your shot. Like I'm gonna smack.
That's
my
next
name.
Level calling your shot.
I'm gonna smack my name right there. That would be pretty good. I remember, was it Braun once that took a piece out of the center field scoreboard? And then you could see the light out for like a while. And it was like, oh, yeah, that was
Braun. We had a few of those, yeah.
Churio did it a couple of years ago, too, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah. So, hey, I like that. Anytime you can call your shot off your own face, not bad.
Big time 53 double season for Lyle Overbay in 2004.
What a monster that was. And they had just traded him in that Sexton deal for a group of guys, and everyone's like, oh, who are these guys?
That was the one that made it somewhat okay. I definitely enjoyed doing the Overbay, and we joked about it with Rock last week on the there were a lot of O's in the crowd of those old Darren and Bill Buckethead brigades. I think that was where the Overbay really took over.
Yes. When everyone had the old going, that was a lot of fun. That turned this whole ship around, man. That was the start. So
buy or sell Tuesday, NicolayLaw.com, talking text line 877-794-1973. Today's the day, by the way. If we get snow today, Armen's going to eat a bowl of Heinz 57 ketchup.
Today was the day, May 19th. That dude on the internet called it for snow today. And I got news for you. It's not happening. So I guess I'm feeling pretty good. I will say this though. All right, tomorrow.
I don't know if it starts flurrying while Drew and I are walking out of the Harley Davidson Museum today. We're gonna start laughing.
Get it ready. No, I will say though, if he predicted a cold snap or whatever vortex, it will be getting chilly tomorrow and Wednesday. So I'll give him that. But listen, there's gonna be no snow. We're all good to go.
Yeah,
no problems.
Also want to know, Armen's looking for smoke, and I share your opinion on this. Armen, because I will expand it. But Armen tweeted last evening, should electric bikes be on the sidewalk? I'm asking, I'm taking a walk and dodging these things like it's Frogger.
That was my
The e-bikes and the scooters have no business on the sidewalk. The Lime scooters that are in my neighborhood downtown.
It's an old man.
Oh, like the rent pay for play ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it says right when you take it, it's like, don't use it on the sidewalk.
Street. This is a street deal. Okay.
It's an old man take, but these things are fast enough. They're basically mopeds or motorcycles. They're going 25 on the sidewalk, and these 9-year-olds are whipping by me, making me feel like a total dork. But like they're just whipping by me, going around me. I'm like,
but yeah, I hate it. Like when I'm walking the dog.
Yeah,
like, dude, come on, I can't. I don't know what the hell. And like these guys, especially younger kids, don't have maybe the best control or judgment because their cortexes aren't fully formed.
Gap a little bit. Yeah, we're trying to have some fun. Frontal lobe's not fully developed.
These bikes have come a long way. I mean, they're powerful things, So
now riding the bike, you're cool on the sidewalk. It's the electric bike that would be the problem.
I'm not
right?
cool, especially adults. So when I see adults riding bikes on the sidewalk, I'm like, what are you doing?
I think if you're under 10 and you're going under 10, you can ride a regular bike on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
I'm not expecting you to take little Johnny or Susie on the open roads of Milwaukee County. I'm not expecting that.
No.
If they're learning to ride a bike, if they're a young tyke, yes.
Well, how about this? Okay,
Go
the
ahead.
buy or sell. I was a 7th or 8th grader, so I'd have been about 13 or 14, and I'd ride my bike to school on Highway 100, but I'd be rolling that sidewalk the whole way.
See, and that's a busy
That sounds
street.
like a very questionable move to go
That's
into.
a busy street.
That's not a heavy pedestrian street per se, though.
Sure.
True.
So you kind of had the sidewalks to yourself.
Well, there would be some.
Well, I suppose other kids walking to school.
There'd be a decent amount.
I'm never going to really complain about a regular bicycle unless you're a serious adult rider. You guys know who you are.
You're talking about bike
cyclist.
short guys.
Yes, that's a great.
If you're wearing the full uniform, get off the sidewalk. I'm 1,000% with you on that.
Bike jersey. You have some sort of memorabilia from Trek or something like that, and you've got the pockets in the back of the shirt. If you paid for a bike jersey and you're wearing it, all right, let's put it that way.
Well, and Drew, I mean, some of these outfits are full Armen romper style deals. Like we were driving out in Brookfield to the Brookfield Central Farmers Market this past weekend, and I mean, this squad of 25s. I mean, they were feeling themselves in those uniforms. I almost thought they almost printed off their own nameplates to figure out who was finishing first, second, and third, win, place, and show.
They look so professional. You almost had to test them for PEDs. You know what
I
mean?
did. Yeah. You want to know how many Livestrong bands were on those?
In all reality, I'm not going to be upset if a kid's riding a regular bike. But man, some of these.
Well, if they're going 10, 15 miles an hour or more on the sidewalk, that's just crazy.
It is, and it felt like it. Now it could be, of course, I'm walking.
Dangerous.
Those motorized scooters, the ones that you just swipe the card and roll.
Yeah,
that's one, Drew, that I get it. I totally do. You will not catch me dead on one of them things. I was driving back I was in Green Bay for a bachelor party, and that was the plan of everybody taking those things back. I will call an Uber and I will laugh as I drive by, roll the window down, and throw something at all of you to see if you can maintain. Not only because it's a pear shape, there's no way I'm being able to last on that thing for a mile without it tipping over.
That's funny.
Let's just start riding. Let's start walking or get yourself an Uber. Let's get that thing up off the sidewalk. I'm with you guys on that one.
Now, let's be honest. Now, I did get a response on this that I think is the truth. If we're all being quite honest, what really should the answer be for this situation? And the answer is, I'm trying to find the right. Oh, here it is. Kyle Roloff said, when I'm walking, they belong on the street. When I'm driving, they belong on the sidewalk. And let's be honest, media starts with me, all that joke. Yeah, it's whatever was most convenient for us. I do find that pedestrians hate motorists and motorists hate pedestrians and they all hate cyclists. That's the way it seems to be. So just something that's crossed my mind last night as the technology is growing with these things. So,
all right. Armen, you buying or selling? And this is our Madison folks. We apologize in advance, but buying or selling that the closure of Duke's on Water is going to rock your foundation. You guys, you know, Duke's on Water Street, venerable establishment, long known as the bar on Water Street, where if you could fog a mirror, your ID was good enough. Yeah, you could get in. They were known for cheap drinks.
$1 beers, I think.
A lot of
that little blackjack machine in the
fisticuffs.
That one.
And then there were Scooters next door, which was named after a buddy of mine. But let's
be honest. This place.
Did we lose part of the legacy? Did you lose a memory there? Does it rock you?
It rocks me a little bit. It's not a place I go anymore unless it's after a Marquette game or some situation like that.
And you really want to slap the nostalgia in the face?
Because that's what it is. And let's be honest, I feel I was lucky enough to live through the greatest time of Dukes in my prime, so I'm going to take it and leave it at that because I don't really go anywhere. But yeah, that's an institution down there.
Okay,
that was the one spot where even Armen, if the conditions were right, might have a shot. You know what I mean? Even Armen.
That was fishing with dynamite at certain points.
The ladies were drunk enough that even Armen had a chance.
Even Armen had a shot.
Maybe partly that. Everyone in a good mood. Let's just put it that way. But
okay.
Dukes on Water was a mainstay spot for all.
Dukes closing, and then for the olds, the demise of the Schlitz brand of beer, the beer that made Milwaukee famous, was growing up like Schlitz, Pabst, Miller, the three breweries that dominated Milwaukee, and then Schlitz changed their formula. It's almost like a new Coke marketing story. They changed their formula. The beer got kind of cloudy and skunkier.
Yeah, that's right.
And it wasn't as good, and they kind of went out, and then they closed down the brewery here, eliminating jobs. People were pissed at that. That was probably around the time of that 82 Brewers doc, right? Because it used to be Schlitz was a big Brewer sponsor back in the day. But then Stroh's bought them, and they started to make it out of Detroit. And then Pabst rebought it and changed the formula back to the old Schlitz. So the beer that made Milwaukee famous is going to be no longer even a beer. It's just going to be a memorable old ghost sign on the side of buildings. You see sometimes there's still some bar signs and just a distant memory of the beer that made Milwaukee famous. So is that on your radar at all? You guys were too young to remember those days.
Well, you're right. It was like Schlitz to a lesser extent, but Pabst also. They had a comeback amongst the hipsters the last 10 to 15 years. It was like a unique beer. And anytime a Milwaukee legacy, brand is no longer, it's going to hurt me a little bit. But you're right, Drew. 81 is when the original brewery closed. Now, I can't say I drank a lot of Schlitz, but when
you were the problem.
Yeah, that was the issue, But I did have a cousin when they were in town. They wanted to find a place to get Schlitz, and it was like a funny thing. But I don't know.
Our buddy Dobie's one-man show, Schlitz happened, a Blatz from the Pabst.
Perfect.
A Blatz from the Pabst.
Can't somebody revive the brand and brew it? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, I mean, if people were drinking it, other than, like you mentioned, the two people and the two hipster friends that you had, I was always a little bit more Pabst positive, right? That was Pabst was my old school Wisconsin beer of choice. But my grandfather worked at both of them, so he was a 48-year brewery employee, so he enjoyed both of them, and he would tell me the glory days of the middle of the shift. They had to start telling people no longer can you sit here and drink on the job. Fellas, you can't have 5 or 6 beers while producing more beer because we are going to lose more on the margins. We got to be watching some of this out. So it will be one of those that, Drew, as you just mentioned, it's a point to the sign and tell a good story, right? So let's make sure that sign and the memory remains, but let's roll through onto what we have here. We got Pabst Light, which is delicious. Pabst Light, delicious.
Okay.
PBR, always going to be a mainstay.
Always good.
And the Leinenkugel friends that we have, they are brewing summer shandy year round. They need to expand more on those orange shandy. That needs to be a part of it all the time. We need to have that one all the time, and we need to keep Milwaukee brewing as much beer as possible.
I totally agree with you, Billy. You gotta. It's our heritage, it's our tradition, and it's our legacy of greatness. It's amazing to think about the history of it too. I mean, you're talking about they were the largest beer producer in the United States for many points, and that's a huge deal. I mean, times have changed and empires rise and fall, and it just shows you nothing's forever.
I was wrong. It was Pabst and Braunmeister. Just got the call from Dad. Schlitz is dead to me. Don't worry about it. All right, it can die an easy death. Yeah, then we're good. All right, then we're the only one that still matters is there.
Big sponsors early of the Brewers, they used to turf wars, and it was
fun to say too, Schlitz. It's fun to say.
Pabst,
yes.
Flats.
Always thought you were getting
Milwaukee,
away with
which few people drank early in Milwaukee.
Anybody still drinking Beast Ice? Beast Light?
Well, good question. That was big in college.
I missed that.
Us.
Yeah, that wasn't big for me. We were cheaper beers than that. That was kind of like an import for us.
Really?
Well, we drank Bavarian Club and Huber and the really cheap stuff.
I don't know, man. Best Light was
disgusting stuff.
Cheap for us.
Beast Ice was that was a post game that was a different deal. Last time I think I was at Duke's. Now that I'm trying to rack my brain of it, was probably Bucks Celtics. Game 6 when this shootout happened on Water Street. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've been there. However, the amount of days that all of a sudden you stumbled in, you're like, where are we? Oh, we're at Duke's.
Is that, you mean Bucks Suns? You said Celtics. So
Bucks Celtics the next year.
Oh, the
Bucks
next year.
Celtics
Okay.
the next year.
Because there was a shooting after the game six.
After game 6. Yeah, no, the next year when Jason Tatum swiped our souls and inevitably helped knock the Bucks out of the playoffs the second year. And then we found out that we were having a kid the next year. And then they're like, oh, all right.
Hey, how about
Guess
that?
you're not going to Water Street that much anymore.
How about that? 877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. This portion of the Huddle been brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, the best. Oh, baby, I just passed 2 years since my hip replacement. Not even thinking about it. That's the beautiful thing. If you have nagging pains, injuries, sports injuries that pop up, orthowisconsin.com is your first stop. Go visit them. World-class care right here close to home. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. When we come back, we got a superhero of the day to name, and we'll take more of your thoughts on a buy or sell Tuesday. 877-794-1973 gets you in. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Buy or sell Tuesday, 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Time for our superhero of the day. And this one's interesting because I just stumbled across the story just as we're getting ready to recognize our friends at Current Electric. Call current.com. You'll like this, Billy, as an Arrowhead fella.
Let me hear it. Come on now.
Kettle Moraine High School, their Captain Laser mascot used to be a superhero. Now, Captain Laser is going to be like a badass blue and gold saber-toothed tiger.
Whoa. Okay. Pivoting that up. I like
Ice
that.
Age saber-toothed tiger, a nod to the glaciers that shaped the Kettle Moraine area. The costume, the district hopes the costume will be ready for the 26-27 school year. And why was the change? Captain Laser, and we could post a picture. I have a picture of the old Captain Laser. Was one of those smiling, cartoony superhero guys. Kind of looked like, one of the Current Electric superheroes. A spokesperson for the school district said the existing Captain Laser costume is deteriorating and no longer safe or sanitary.
I was going to say the thing is just too nasty to wear. Is that what it is?
Pretty
I've
much.
Never heard this much press about a high school.
She also
mascot.
said cheerleading has changed a great deal as a sport over the last 15 or 20 years.
True.
The cheer team expressed needs related to visibility, mobility, and appropriate foot size to perform safely and effectively. So the cheer team requested that they form a mascot committee to address the need for a new costume.
That's awesome. As somebody that was walking around in those big floppy falcon feet, that can be a difficult thing for everybody else to have to handle.
But are they saying that they're going to be involved in the cheers now? Is that what it is?
Well, I guess they always were, but the Kettle Moraine District surveyed elementary, middle, and high school students as well as staff and alumni. 3 options were presented. The first option was a refreshed Captain Laser with an upgraded costume and a refreshed KM uniform. Captain Laser could continue to be a positive and unifying symbol for the school community.
Almost looks a little Johnny Bravo-esque, the revamped one. I kind of liked it.
The second option was for a futuristic Captain Laser. Evolved from the original identity of the district in 1967 when students selected the name Lasers to represent progress, innovation, and the limitless potential of young people. The laser stands for forward-thinking determination and the belief that Kettle Moraine students could overcome any obstacle in their path. And then the third option was the Ice Age saber-tooth tiger, the Ice Age cat. And that's the one that won because they are at the southern unit of the Kettle Moraine State Forest. There's a desire to reflect the geological aspect in their mascot. So 61% supported the Ice Age cat over the futuristic Captain Laser, and only 15 wanted a refreshed Captain
Cat
Laser.
does look cool. I'll tell you that much. That cat looks cool.
Yeah. So the new costume will be adjusted slightly with a slightly smaller head and will feafeure Captain Laser on the back of the jersey to improve comfort and functionality.
Is he going to have this ray gun when he walks around?
That's
I think that you got to have in
that's
there.
Going to be an accessory, not attached to the costume.
Okay. I was going to say, that thing's sweet right there. Listen, I am definitely laser positive after this. Captain Laser, congratulations. Welcome to the 21st century.
And here's the thing, and this is where we rope Armen in.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
The new costume will cost $10,000.
Yeah, I just don't.
It'll come from a fund that is used to report gifts specified to be used for the district's operating purposes, and the new costume is expected to last 10 years.
So they had
for
money
$10,000, you get 10 years of use.
So
out of this
there's somewhere they're stockpiling money for mascot. Now here's my question: how much does a normal costume cost? Maybe that's a good rate. I don't know, but I can't imagine 10.
I can't think they're cheap.
Right. So 10G for them. I mean, what is this private equity getting involved in?
No, I mean, okay, but you're also talking about like the helmet has to have some kind of ventilation. Generally, those mascot helmets have fans. A lot of times they break very, very quickly.
Must be nice, I can't wait for the. I can't wait now for the news to trickle out about every other high school mascot.
Well, but if you don't want it to be unsanitary when Bill Schmidt puts Captain Laser's head on,
I do want
make sure you get the one with a fan so it calms down a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. It's got to be 10G. 10G. So that's
what would you expect to pay for a mascot costume? Because 10G is clearly outrageous in your mind.
Did you expect it to cost $10,000?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I don't know.
At least look at how sweet this thing is.
It's cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool looking costume. I just didn't think they were going for that much. But I really have no idea. I have not priced mascots recently.
But I know you're not pricing. I'm saying in your mind, because clearly 10,000 is rattling.
All right,
to you.
maybe 500 to 1,000. Is that ridiculous?
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm not saying Grandma Edna's got to make it anymore. In her backyard or not in her backyard, in her sewing shop, that's what they're going for. All right, I stand corrected then. I guess I wasn't aware of the mascot market.
$1,000.
How much is a mascot cost you?
I mean, the head at least is going to be $2,000 or $3,000. I would think.
You would think.
I mean, I like that you're thinking you're getting out of here for $500. Oh my God!
Okay, Google's not helping. Between 100 to 10,000 plus, it says. What a range. Okay, fine. They cost a lot of money.
Awesome.
Good for I'm happy for the kids at Kettle Moraine.
Listen, I'm happy for them, and I'm also happy for anybody that's calling Current Electric, Drew, and making sure that they're protecting their home and keeping their family safe this year with a standby generator from Current Electric. The power goes out in your home for any length of time, you're going to be in trouble. So get a free home generator assessment for the month of May and give yourself some peace of mind at Current Electric. That's it. Free home generator assessment for the entire month. They'll also talk to you about their Generac 7-year warranty that's going on, which is a free 7-year Generac warranty. So you get the free assessment, find out more about the 7-year free Generac warranty, and you go to callcurrent.com and you can find that standby generator you need, because the weather will get dicey here again. Right? Like yesterday, It seemed like there might have been some possibilities for it to get a little worrisome. Current Electric keeping you safe.
That's ventilation you need right there. Now, you guys, I guess they're right. Okay, according to one website, basic costumes are 6 to 8. Common are 8 to 10, and complex are 10 plus. And I guess this would be complex. So, holy cow. I had no idea.
I mean, what do you think they pay for a Bango or for a Bernie Brewer getup?
Sure, but that's
professional.
professional.
How often are those replaced?
That's a professional sport organization. Now, we know the difference. I'm sorry. Now, that's a good question. And they probably need multiple. They probably need backups.
I don't know about that. I know there's backup Bucky Badgers,
one. Yeah,
but you got high school, you got one.
Yeah. And if one jerk is in there that is a little bit larger, he's stretching those tights out, and I don't know that you're getting anything more.
That's the other problem. It's like the size difference in those situations. You need to have a catch-all. Like you need to have a generic one that anyone could, whatever.
What do you think? What do you think the Brewers pay for the racing sausage costumes?
That's a great question.
Now the question is, how often are those replaced? How sanitary are those?
Question.
And I know that the chorizo hat has shrunken over the years. I know it. When the chorizo hat first
Armen with
came
a conspiracy theory.
Yes, I swear. The chorizo hat used to tip over, the racer all the time and give it an unfair disadvantage. And that's a shorter, more streamlined hat. Now, that's just my theory. The sombrero is smaller.
Smoking the grass from the grassy knoll, are you?
Speaking of a deal, someone asked, Boss Albert asked if Ray and Dots is still around. Of course it's still around.
Yes, Ray and Dots still around.
Right there on Grange all the time. You can go in there.
How could it not be still around?
50-cent taps, I don't think is still a thing. I'm pretty sure the 10 ouncers are $125 and a regular are like $2, but great prices still for this day and age, right, Billy? Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Still good ones. Also, though, if you're looking for those classic pints, our boy Saz is still celebrating their anniversary as well. Guys, buy or sell on this Buy or Sell Tuesday. Jack Ike is a follow that I have all the time on my former Wisconsin sports guy. Now lives in Florida and calls games for the Tampa University Spartans. But he puts out a moment of the day, on this day moment in Wisconsin sports every single year. And buy or sell, Chucky Carr will never be forgotten, because on this day, May 19th in 1997, Chucky Carr, who often talked about himself in the third person, in his final Brewers game, ignored a 2-0 take sign, popped out to first, and said, Chucky, don't play that game.
Chucky hacks on 2-0.
There it is. Oh, Chucky Carr.
He was released the next day with a 130 batting average. Is that one that will never be forgotten in the lore of Brewers fans?
The Brewers did try. I think he was out of options, but the Brewers wanted him to accept and go to AAA, and then he just bailed.
He's like, I'm out of here, dude.
That was
he passed. Boy. Rest in peace. He passed, I think.
Chucky?
Yeah, I believe he did a few years ago. I remember those stories were coming around again. But the Chucky hacks on 2-0 is
Chucky ended up being a coach for a while too.
Looking for that in his career overview.
He was so fast. I mean, he was
a stolen base leader in '93.
He was a flash in the pan that when he got to the Brewers, he had he had an initial flurry, and then his knee exploded in the outfield, and then he kind of it just didn't
never came back.
Didn't come back after that. Yeah, he was it was exciting. He had a rep when he came in as being a little bit of an irritating guy,
Oh, for sure. Yes.
He was basically he was Willie Mays Hayes.
Oh, really? Okay.
He was early Willie Mays Hayes.
He was the actual Willie Mays Hayes.
That's great.
Yeah.
But nice catch, Chucky. Don't ever do it again.
Was he hard to cover, Drew? Like,
no, it wasn't hard to cover.
He gave you quotes.
Interesting cat. Yeah, he was. He wasn't in the Niger territory of Niger Morgan, but he was in that mold, kind of just a quirky, fast guy who, it's just an interesting cat.
And some awesome visuals online. Like there's on his Wikipedia page, there's a picture of him with the Wausau Timbers in 1988. Chucky obviously had his moments in the Milwaukee, but that one with Gar is still one of the all-timers.
Wausau Timbers. How about this? His final Major League at bat. His Major League career was a home run in the 97 NLDS Game 3 against Smoltz. Oh, I guess that's one way to finish it. Not bad at all. So.
Yeah, that is a good way to cap it.
Yeah. So that's quite interesting. So there you go on this. I love those things. Yeah.
I also love though when we see him during the show.
Yes.
Generally, the on this day in history happened right at about 8:02 and 8:03. So I like that we can actually capitalize on it and enjoy it.
That does help Billy a lot. There's no question. It's a lot helpful.
Dobbs on the talking text line, NicoletLaw.com talking text line. As we mentioned, Jake Bauers hitting the scoreboard and potentially, according to certain reports, hitting his own name on the scoreboard. Is there another one better than that? Richie Sexton leaving a dent in the old flagpole at Minute Maid. Yeah, that would have been better if it was a home run.
Right, it was a triple, right?
Being a triple and still being in play is one of the worst quirks in all of baseball history.
That was pretty wild. He did dent that sucker.
What was that, a 460-foot triple?
Sexton broke a window at what is now Top Golf. Like he broke a window there during like BP. And I remember they tried to pimp him. This was before Punked and all that stuff. But they tried to pimp him and like bring him a bill for the window, like he had to pay for it. Dean Taylor was the GM and tried to do it. So his one attempt at humor was to try to present a bill.
Didn't hit very well.
That didn't hit very well. No.
How'd that go?
He didn't find the humor in it.
They were quickly able to replace that with some non-breakable plexiglass, or was that always?
I think there was tape on it for a day or two.
That is so funny.
I think they finally painted a yellow line on the flagpole after he hit it, though, right, in Houston?
Yeah.
But because there was no yellow line. That's why they couldn't.
Well, now they've quickly taken that out.
Well, gone.
That was on Tal's Hill. They had the hill going up. It was wild. And they wanted to be quirky about it. Pretty funny.
And instead, they didn't realize that they already had the best quirk in all of baseball. You have an actual train in the stadium.
Yes.
You have a train in the stadium. You don't need anything better than that.
That's right. All right. Still time to get us your buy-sell propositions or your thoughts on today's program. 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. When we come back, we're waking and baking with our friends from Happy Place Hemp.
And I got some bacon for you.
Oh, baby. HappyPlaceHemp.com. Use the code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. We will spin through that. We'll close up any loose ends and get ready for another glorious night. Brewers Cubs Game 2 tonight at Wrigley Field. The Miz on the mound. Once again, it's the triple play tonight. The Brewers win this game. They will win the series.
Bang.
They will move to 10 games over 500 for the first time this season. That's the first goal that you should check each season. And they will move into first place in the division.
Take that,
triple
Chicago.
play possibilities this evening. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen, your favorite early risers here on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. God, time to close up shop already. Seems like we just got here,
dude.
We just got here.
Flies.
And they're tearing the microphone away from us.
We're just starting to get good, frankly. Well,
no doubt. Well, it's about to get better because it's time for our Wake and Bake story, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. If you've not experienced their products yet, the best CBD products you can find anywhere, made right here in Wisconsin, out of Muskego. No matter where you live in the state, they'll ship to you, and they'll ship free if you use the code HUDDLE. You'll get a 25% discount off the list price and free shipping, which, you order a couple of 4-packs of Drift Seltzer, that's heavy, and then you're saving yourself some money. So those guys take care of us, and they'll take care of you with the best CBD products you can find anywhere. The code HUDDLE, 25% off at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Billy, what do you got for us for a Wake and Bake story?
As we were saying, we just get better now. Hard to say anybody was better. No one was better at the wide receiver position last year than Jackson Smith-Njigba, who won, rightfully so, not only a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks, but he was the offensive player of the year. Now, if you watch the NFL Honors Show, when Drewski announced him as the winner, you might not know he won because if you remember, he had no clue how to pronounce my man's name. Instead, potentially had a slur up there, and my man was just laughing the entire time. So a little bit of a joke at that point. Well, Jackson Smith-Njigba says the joke continues. And as he said, it's getting disrespectful at this point. I don't know if the person at the NFL or at the trophy shop, Drew, was potentially waking and baking, maybe had a couple of Drift Seltzers in here. As they sent Jackson Smith-Njigba his NFL Honors Trophy inscribed to the 2025 Defensive Player of the Year.
How do you make a mistake like that?
Oh my!
Come on.
Now we had the situation earlier this year with the medals at the right. That was the Milwaukee Marathon. They made thousands of them. All right, they said at this point, what's done is done. And we can't. What are we supposed to do with this? You made one of these. At some point, you say, "Hey, Rick, come in here. You spell that for me? All right, you're fired. You left the F out. Yeah. Here's your F, and here are your papers and your box. Get out. Now, somebody go make him another one and send it to him. Instead, we had to have probably had 3 or 4 checkpoints where we looked at it and said, I don't know. Do you think he's really going to know the difference?
Sounds like a lot of people that don't watch sports.
Do you think he'll know the difference at 2025 Defensive Player of the Year? No real problem with that one for Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yikes. Hey, how about this one? Congrats. Is there anything you can't do? The questions about, Father Time, this and that, doesn't matter. LeBron James is also, all he's already done, he's also broken the NCAA record in the men's javelin throw with a 77.91 meter heave in New Mexico. Congratulations, LeBron James of New Mexico Junior College. Yes, it's not the same guy, obviously, but his name, LeBron James. How about that? You see that one cross your timeline. You're like, wait a minute. He did what?
What did I miss here?
So there you go. What? And good on him for not going with like L.A. James or like, changing the name. He's like, you know what? My mom named me LeBron. I'm LeBron James.
I'm rolling LeBron.
I'm LeBron James. My name's famous. I'm going to roll with it.
You sure hope he wasn't a Kobe guy. I mean, like at some point he was a big Steph fan. That might have been a tough couple of years. The other Wake and Bake story, a little bit sadder one. However, one that is right in the public eye is the Brendan Sorsby versus the NCAA and the gambling sphere and the lawsuit that they fired in here, Drew. There's a lot of parts of this that are tough. My man was firing off every bet imaginable. I mean, like he was, as the graphic says here, he was betting on everything. Because apparently Brendan Sorsby, one of the big questions here, was obviously betting on games while he was at Indiana, said that he did that to feel more attached to the team while he was not an active player. He was in his redshirt year. But Drew, I mean, who hasn't at 2 a.m. after a nice night out in Bloomington, Indiana, decided to fire up a couple of bets on like Turkish basketball and Romanian soccer? Yes. Some obscure doubles tennis matches. He really just was one of us. But the one that I don't like, and the one that I do have a problem with people making fun and clowning Brendan Sorsby for, he was betting on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Who hasn't dropped some shekels on the greatest American athlete of our lifetime, Joey Chestnut, a couple of different times? to polish off a couple of glizzies and bring you some cash on the 4th of July.
Yeah, you're missing me with that one. If you're trying to build a case against him, I'm sorry. He's never become more relatable than betting on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. So the other ones I can admit are kind of out there, obscure. But
sure, maybe it's tough if you're trying to figure out, do I have a beat here on this Czechoslovakian table tennis? However, you start watching, like, wow. Watch for 20 minutes. I guess I'm going to have to throw something down here because I'm not turning away here in the final 40. That can be a thing. Brendan Sorsby was betting on everything. Yeah. He was firing out bets on everything. But if you're having fun and wagering on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, that's just an American path.
That absolutely is. And I've done that as well.
So. I love how you use he's one of us.
Yeah. One of us, dude. I was like, I've never felt more relatable to a Division I quarterback ever in my life, Drew.
Yeah, he is. You got problems.
The Romanian basketball.
Wow.
Or like any kind of sport overseas, you just start wondering, do I even know the rules? You don't want to look like Coach Bud over on the sidelines playing a casino game that you only know half the rules.
That's true. I like darts. You can bet on darts. It's like, okay, well, what am I?
Hold on here.
What game is it? Cricket 301, right? What's
Armen,
that? Well, I don't know.
Playing 501. Come on.
501. Okay.
Come on. What do you think this is? Cricket? What do we think this is? The Salty Toad?
Yeah.
We're over here playing legit 501. You hit a 180. You get low tons in that game all over the place.
I'm
all right.
Paragon. It's cricket only. All right.
Listen. The Professional Darts League is playing 501. All right. We're playing legit 501. That is those environments. You want to talk about, and we're going to mention some road environments for the Packers coming up later on today.
Like Taylor Swift crowds.
Dude, you walk into one of those dart competitions that you would think that you are in Cameron Indoor because those places are live for those events. And then all of a sudden it's like me walking out. It is a little bit of a throwaway when you're like, wait, that guy's supposed to be the professional athlete in here?
Yeah, exactly.
What did I just bet on?
What the hell?
But it is fun, dude. I'll tell you, those events are some of the best midday sports watching that you're going to have. If you have not availed yourself to watching some, take 5 minutes and see some of the entrance videos and you'll enjoy it.
Speaking of relatable, on the NickLayLaw.com talking text line, a couple texts to clean up. Aaron in Carolina, one for you, Drew. There's only one beer worth drinking anyway, Miller High Life, the champagne and beers.
Well, there's more than one beer worth drinking, but that is my personal preference.
Jonah in River Falls saying, you fellas know you can get a DUI on a Lime scooter, right? No, I didn't know that, Jonah. How did you know? Okay, I don't know. We're talking about the scooters and the electric bikes earlier. And Derek and Whitewater, give me $6,000 and I'll put 5 and get you a mascot for 1,000. So guys also now trying to make deals with me to get mascot costumes for less. I don't know, the number just shocked me, but one of the many exciting things we talked about today.
If we started talking about, vital body organs, people be like, I can get you a kidney.
Yeah, we can find you some liver.
There's a black market for everything.
It would be appropriate though. I mean, I think Armen's been called the station mascot for quite some time.
That's true. The furry Armenian.
But I'm our mascot.
That's true. You don't even need a costume. You're furry enough.
I'm good.
That's true. That's true. And watching him get excited during games.
Why are you guys so mean to Armen on this show? And I say, what are you talking about?
Watching him get excited during games, he's more animated than most mascots in costume anyway.
I was going to say, this is better than Packy Packer anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Give me the $10,000.
It sounds like the Packers are trying to say, should they bring back Packy Packer?
I saw that. We might have to discuss that this week.
We might have
That's a great hot take hump day one.
Yeah.
We just might have to. All right, Brewers, Cubs tonight. Miz on the mound. Probably won't be the same conditions. It never really is. 77 with the wind blowing out. Brewers can, again, triple play. Can be in first place. They can go to 10 over, beat the Cubs, win the series. We'll see you at 5 tomorrow.
Peace.